Hello, and welcome back. A long time ago, in a land far, far away, we had episode 5 of Freedom Chasers. Today's episode 6. I believe it has been about 8 weeks since we last saw you. Has anybody got a Scooby? What the hell happened last time? Where did last episode start?
Where did it start?
Yeah, it's always the hard question to begin. You began in the woods with a fight with some creatures. Can anybody tell me what they were?
Is that where we began?
Mm-hmm.
With the
I think
ghost?
so. I am on the right episode.
Oh, no,
right?
no,
not a
ghost.
The ghost. No ghost.
It was the storm things.
I think the ghost is from a different campaign, Josh.
Yes. No, it was the episode prior. It was the riders.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, those
ghosts.
Right, okay. Yeah, no, I thought you were talking about the ghost, but no, ghosts. So you began with a fight in the forest against things that weren't ghosts. What were they?
Dwarf elementals.
Yes, storm
Storm elementals. That's what we're looking for. Thank you. Technically, storm methods. Yeah. And somebody had a magical effect occur. Was it Dinari? I think.
Yeah, it was.
What happened to Dinari?
Yeah. My axe absorbed the power of the storm elementals. Now got some special lightning properties to it.
That it does. Cool.
She became Thor.
Yeah. You then got stuck in a storm, and I think the answer to the storm was let's go find shelter, right?
Yep.
Yeah. There were some big hailstones and stuff. You found some shelter, and then when you guys were there in the rain, you encountered some other creatures. Any ideas?
Someone joined us for a bite.
Mud method.
I think the first was mud method.
That's correct. And you guys dealt with the mud methods in a rather exciting turn of events. Having remembered that they explode upon impact, we were very, 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 very careful. Only to realize that the effect was that you could potentially get restrained if you were within 5 feet of their explosion. You dispatched the methods, and then a traveler came to your camp begging aid. Anyone remember her name?
Amanda.
And
such a non-vampire name.
Well, spoiler alert, she was a vampire. And who did she suck off?
Don't say that. Don't say that. She was a child. Don't say that.
It wasn't a child. She was like 16.
She was like 700 years old.
Yeah, she was also like 600 exactly. So this is a fine. Basically,
we're not using those rules here.
She drank Weary's blood. That's the important thing. Leaving him pretty fucked, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, she did it secretly and then fled the scene.
No, like you've still. How many levels of exhaustion do you still have, Jack? And you're missing some hit die and everything.
Yeah, I'm missing some hit die.
It's a bad time to be weary.
She gave me a brush, so...
She did give you a horse brush, didn't she? Yeah, which does, I think, have some sort of magical effect. Is that true?
I think it's just a nice brush.
It's really
I think it does do something, but not for me.
Yes, that is true. That is absolutely true. It does do something, but not for you. That's good.
But it turns out that Rory didn't particularly mind being sucked off by a vampire.
Yeah, we had an argument about it.
We did.
Oh yeah. Morally, he was glad that he wasn't. That she didn't kill him, and she stayed quiet as she promised. Yeah, which kind of made it okay, which is odd. And then after that, you guys carried on to the north.
And then we
found a corpse in the road.
Yeah, of a pirate, and we found his horse.
Yeah.
You did. Pirate with a horse.
Whisper.
Yes, and that was William's. William took the horse and the whistle that went with it. And you also found a mark, a specific heirloom item.
It was like a pin or something, right? Wasn't it?
Necklace. Yeah,
Necklace,
that's correct.
Yeah.
And Weary recognized it as a mark of a particular pirate group.
Yes, and he was very happy that said pirate was dead. We got a little bit of backstory that he's had some run-ins with pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he specifically said I'm a
Most
sailor.
sailors.
Everyone has had an encounter with pirates was his
Sure.
sin,
Yeah.
which in other
He
Archipelago
was
is fairly true.
particularly passionate about.
Yep.
I was particularly passionate about these pirates.
Yeah, it's true. And then you dug a grave because that's always a Friday night activity. You dig a grave, right? Dinari prepared specifically the grave for the man. After which you guys just fucked off to the north, is that right? Right, love that for you. And you got to the hill where you had gone for the plant. What was the plant and why?
It's a mandrake.
Sure. Can we have the actual name?
Ganosha.
Ganosha, that is true. And what was the catch?
Is that if we pulled them out, they die?
Same as true of carrots. What's the problem with that?
They're sentient.
Aha, yes.
Yeah.
They expressed some... They
were lovely.
They were quite frightened, right, when you nearly picked them. Yeah.
But they were pretty chatty. And they were like,
they were pretty chatty.
Grow legs.
And you guys discussed at the end of the episode, I don't know whether it was out of session, because it wasn't when I watched it in the recap, or whether it was something Josh said to me afterwards, but I got a strong indication that you might visit the nearby town, which was called Lochside. At the time, you didn't have that name. But you thought the village that is fairly close to these plants might have some information. And I'm now going to tell you are going there, because otherwise we don't have a session, right? Glad you guys have agreed. Brilliant. And with that, I think you are literally on the hillside at, what was it? No, I've got it down as 3 p.m. Did you long rest off just down the hill, I think, maybe?
I think we might have long rest before.
It was...
Before.
You had to visit... No, because you had to visit the plants at midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is midnight, and I just haven't updated the timer. Okay, cool. So it's like 1 a.m., which would make it the 14th. Gold harvest the 14th.
If we long rested, does that mean I deal out?
I believe you already did. I think you got 5 levels of exhaustion from...
I got 5!
Or 4, I think. I think it was 8. You definitely... You did lose some exhaustion during that long rest. I know that for certain.
Oh, God.
But a reminder that you don't lose exhaustion anywhere near as quickly when you camp out in the wilderness as you do when you are in a nice warm bed in an inn or whatever. Because that's the only way I'm ever going to kill anyone. Is exhaustion. That's the plan. So yeah, cool. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. You're on a hill next to some chatty plants. And with that, we will turn to you guys.
You know, guys, I think we should probably head over to that nearby town.
Yes, you should.
Really? Why? Why do you think that?
Well, I just have this really strong feeling that we should go there. But they might have some information about these plants. Maybe there's a way of, I don't know, using whatever we need to use without killing them. And they might know.
Yeah. Maybe we can stick a sucker in them and suck out the thing we need without harming them or something like that.
Because you get bit by a vampire one time, you're obsessed.
Hey, I resent that.
Speaking of vampires, though, didn't Amanda say it was from this town? What if it's a town of vampires?
Sorry, I will clarify that you know that is not true. Specifically because of... I want to call him Barry now. He's not Barry the Bee. He was Ben the Beekeeper. Ben the Beekeeper did say that he delivers honey up to that village. And
vampires don't eat?
And vampires
and technically he did also mention knowing Amanda. You're not wrong.
But to be fair, she might have been from there like 700 years ago when she was mortal. Might not be a vampire town. But if it is, we just guard our necks. Unless you're into that. We listen and we don't judge, really.
Wait, that is a very flipped perspective from William's last perspective on this. Weary
It's
listened
not-
and didn't judge, and
It's
William
not
was
just me.
furious about it.
If William judges the fact that he's flippant about it, but he can't be walking around angry at every decision everyone makes. That's
No,
exhausting.
He just didn't like vampires.
I can.
I just
Well, I
cover
do.
my neck.
William builds bridges and gets over things. That's what he does.
For now, at
Regardless.
least.
I
We
respect
should at
that.
least be cautious.
He does not
Yes.
look like somebody who could build a bridge.
No. Well, this doesn't affect him directly, so he's fine to get over this quickly.
No, he creates bridges out of shadow.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and then if you do something awful, I make the shadow disappear and you plummet to your death.
Yeah, underneath, while you're on the bridge.
Given that it's potentially a vampire town, do you want to approach during the night? It is currently 1 a.m. and it's about 6 miles away. It's about an hour and a half's walk.
Are all the normal vampire superstitions true in this world? Like garlic, crosses wouldn't really make sense.
Okay, we talked about this before. Let's recap very briefly.
that was
Vampires
months ago.
vampires don't die in the sunlight, but they severely dislike it and find it very uncomfortable.
Did they sparkle?
No, they often struggle with seeing at all. Though it's very painful to them. They just don't die. Older vampires, the older the vampire, the more likely they are to be able to manage the sunlight. Garlic is it depends where you are in the world whether that tale is true or not. So as players, you know there may be some truth to it. As characters, I think you probably haven't got a fucking clue. But you think it might be a thing. Running water is not just effective against vampires, it's effective against all undead. No undead likes crossing running water, and they'll never walk through the water for the most part, although there are exceptions when undead are granted their full intelligence when they're not being controlled by something. Some of them can cope with it, but you're not too sure about vampires. There's nothing about inviting them into a house.
I was just going to ask that.
What about silver?
Silver weapons, you know, are effective against various monsters that can't be affected by regular weapons, including many different forms of undead. Whether that applies specifically to vampires or just generally to vampires, you wouldn't know. You would assume that a stake through the heart is painful for most creatures. Vampires might be included in that. However, if it was a wooden stake with no silver to it, maybe it'll affect them, maybe it won't. You're not sure. You also know that vampires do have the capacity to unform and reform if they are powerful enough. So,
What about stake through the heart and chopping off the head? Because that was also traditionally a thing.
Yeah.
chopping off people's heads is usually quite an
I'm
effective way of
burning
killing
the
them,
bodies.
Yeah.
regardless of their
coming
race
back.
or gender. There's no specific tales about chopping their heads off. Staking them through the heart is a tale that you would have heard. Yeah.
Can they turn into bats?
You definitely have heard that some powerful vampires may be able to do that. Bats. Some say bats. Some say a dark cloud. Some say a dark mist. Some say a swarm of bats. Some say a cloud of bats. It's all flippin'
Do we know how old they have to
No.
be?
No, you have
be
no
ancient?
information.
Because obviously
about
Amanda could be like, I don't know. She might be like 600 years old, but that might not be old enough.
you
to
know
watch
that vampires
daylight.
grow in power with age, but that is literally the extent of the information you have on that. For all you know, that means they're stronger next week than they were this week.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that after all of this information, there's no vampires in this town.
That may or may not be the case. Yeah, cool. All right. So, do you want to approach it at night, or do you want to wait until the morning, or you are about to walk? And just a reminder, you are on sort of like a barren hill in the middle of a fairly thick forest. That's almost swamp-like forest, if you will. It's quite a dark forest. There's lots of sort of branches pulled close together. It's a close, dark, old-feeling forest. So wandering out of that in the middle of the night might appear dodgy to some people.
We are dodgy.
We've been attacked by the forest before. Do we really want to walk through it again?
You are in it. This hill you are on is surrounded by forest. You did go through the forest in the night at one point. The forest you were attacked by is all the way down at the Burwood.
Oh yeah, very far
which
away.
is
but,
it's also a
like,
completely different forest, for what it's worth. And you have camped in here for 8 hours, literally an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, we're wide awake.
Wide awake. Are you going here?
That is
Or are
pretty
you
rough.
staying here?
I'm for going.
Want to
Yeah,
turn up at
What
the
if we
town?
head a little south toward the road so that we approach from the road?
You're going to do that? Make it a 20 mil.
Okay.
If that makes
make
if
it
that
extra
makes
on
you
the
feel
map.
better.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, I'm drawing lines. Yes, you are.
I can tell. I'm
You are on
not.
the map.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
I can't
I
move you
see
from where you
Tim.
are to where you are. Yeah, that's the map.
Okay, I'll refresh.
You see Tim and you see Lochside, right, Jack?
No, I didn't.
No,
I
no,
see
no,
Tim.
no.
Okay. Let me refresh
But
as well.
maybe
Okay.
maybe only I can
Sorry,
see
I can't
Tim.
move you from where you are to where you are. So, I mean, I suppose I can throw you guys off to the world map and then drag you back. Might help.
Oh, roll 20 is not even loading.
Ooh, I may have made a mistake here trying to refresh.
Oh,
Well,
there we go.
I'm in.
Oh god, that's what we blame.
I don't want to flashbang myself again.
Oh yeah, there we go. Ooh, Helmfirth Ruins.
Ooh, yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah, Laura, that.
Yeah.
You're present.
Ooh.
In case you guys are wondering, they're literally just pointing at a town and measuring the distance. There is no need for me to share it with stream. Yes, you can extend your 6-mile walk to a 10-mile walk and approach the village from the road. Is that what you want to do?
The road. There's a victim of the highwaymen on the road. I mean, they
There
also
is.
kind of attacked us in the forest as well.
They did
So,
attack you in
there's
the forest,
no-
yeah.
Yeah, there's no
No. Maybe
relatively safer place.
No, although
Like
if we
a
did
dragon.
run into them again, I'm sure your newfound magic axe. Was it an axe? No.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. Magic axe would, do something to them.
And Anivari now has a short sword. Where did you get that, Laura?
Off the pirate.
Ah, cool.
Mhm.
Like that.
Oh, there's the map. There we go.
Are we there?
It glows like Bilbo back
I'm there.
sword.
Yeah. Cool. So you guys want to walk down to the road and then walk into town. Fantastic. I love that for you. It's 2 o'clock in the morning as you get down to the road. And Dinari is rolling a D100.
Oh,
I mean, surely you used the one she had before session.
Yeah, the 69.
yeah.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
a 69? I
Yeah.
love that.
Before stream, yeah.
That
Got
a
16
meme?
now.
Oh, I've gone for 69.
Although, to be fair, it wasn't Bumpkin that rolled the 69, it was Bumble.
Oh, yeah.
You note that there is a strangely hollowed out tree on the roadside. And you note this because it looks like somebody stored a fair amount of goods in there.
Ooh.
You're a little way from town. Do you approach it, look at it, leave it?
Well, we gotta have
Maybe
a
I'll,
squeeze,
I'll
mate.
I'll alert our resident looter of a new followed up course to go
Who's
check
the
out.
resident looter?
William.
Is he?
God,
Yeah.
you try and loot a dead body one time.
Have I missed a reference here?
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to loot the pirate, and
The first thing
and
he said on seeing the corpse was, "I am gonna go through his pockets."
yeah, and Dinari was
Yeah.
not happy about it.
No, just when you took
Um,
a sentimental item.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I'll go up to the log.
Okay. It looks like there is a couple of crates, a sealed chest, 2 big bags. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start taking them out of the log. Do any of these things look locked?
I think you're misunderstanding. Right. So it's a
So there's
it's a
hollowed
tree.
out log.
No, nothing to do with the log. It's a tree. It's standing. And it is hollow at one side. So you don't have to take them out to look at them. Right? Because you can
Well,
walk, you
no,
can
but I'm
stand in
taking them out so that well, sure, but like if there's a crate and a chest and a whatever, that's going to be annoying just looking at them inside a tree. So I'm just going to take them out to be easier to look at.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So it might be perceived as stealing at that point, but that's okay. I'm fine with that.
Well, I ain't looking for a postcard.
In the crates, you find a large selection, of different preserves and cheeses, jams and cheeses. In the sacks, you find various items of clothing, well made for traveling. Give me an investigation check as you are. Look at these.
I would love to.
I'd also like to look around the area to see if there's like a sign of any, like an actual sign that says like.
Yep. There is
Not touched.
There is very obviously no sign. However, if you want to give me a survival check, Anivari, as you look at the road around it, William, your check was
15.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on a second, sorry. I don't know why this is being shit. Stop being shit. Thank you. In amongst all of these various regular pieces of clothing, if you will, so they're well made, but they're traveler's gear. They're not anything particularly special.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find I can't get this to open. It's really doing my head in. Come on, you can get there. Brilliant. It loaded. That is what we were looking for. You find a pair of boots, sort of pair of tan boots, which are fastened around the foot with 3 adjustable belts. They seem like they could be something special, a bit different. And you also find a big pair of hide boots lined with dense, warm, white fur. No, you don't. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. It took ages to load, and now my brain is broken. You do find the tan boots, which are fastened around the foot with 3 adjustable belts. And you also find a set of like leather braces, if you will. They look very stylized, very artistically designed, and they do sort of feel a little warm to the touch.
Any insignia on it?
No, but you are aware that they may be magical goods. And there is also still a chest on the floor, by the way. Which I haven't mentioned.
Is the chest locked?
It does seem to have a very simple lock, but it's like a catch lock to prevent it from falling open. It's nothing that you'd have to pick. You could just, like slide it out and open it.
Okay, I'll do so.
Okay. You get a faint, warm buzzing sensation when you slide this lock across and open it. Give me an Arcana check.
Someone's alarm.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of bees.
That's a 20.
Bumble arrives. No, I'm kidding. You do sense that maybe there was an alarm of this sorts, but you'd normally expect an alarm to make some sort of noise out loud as well as in the caster's head.
I thought it was a choice.
You'd expect a little bit of an indication, if not just like a little faint noise if it's going to go off in their head, just to show you've tripped an alarm. It's almost like this spell is very old or worn out.
So
However, the
hopefully
cheeses were very
user's
fresh.
Dead.
The cheeses were very fresh from the crate. So you have 2 different indications, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in the chest?
You open up the chest and you find about 14 different little leather. How to explain them? They're like tiny pouches, and it's I mean they just look like tiny pouches. You're not quite sure what they do, but they're definitely magical in nature. You also find a bag that's sort of tossed into the back of the chest that looks like it may have some magical properties. And you also find 32 copper pieces, 12 silver pieces, and that's it for the money. And I'm trying to find the last thing. Sorry, I don't know why this is taking forever to change from one thing to another. Fantastic. And you also find a series of cloth of gold vestments that look like they might be holy garments of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, I'll show everyone what's there, and I'll mention, the very old spell that may not, be of much use anymore. But I'll turn and say, do we?
I mean,
Is-
surely this is
Sorry, Anivari, before you speak,
somebody.
what was your survival check?
3.
3! Yeah, you start following some tracks on the road and then lose... Wow, that's a weird pun. Lose track of them. In amongst...
Just
there
circle
was
back
quite
round.
There was quite a heavy storm.
Yeah.
You're not really sure. You could perhaps call somebody else to have a look at the tracks and see whether they can make anything of it, but you certainly couldn't work anything out from them. But then again, you were already looking for a road sign anyway, so...
That's true. That's true. Surely
Weary
this
and...
was meant...
Sorry, Weary and Bumpkin, if you want to give me a survival check, and then Elora, I really will let you finish your sentence.
Let the woman talk.
Maybe someday. Someday.
Go on.
13.
Go, Elora. Go.
Woo!
Surely this was meant for somebody, right?
Is there a world where that somebody's us?
Are you a particularly holy man?
Well,
There's a big
We're
argument
holy
right
enough
now
to
happening
like
between
cheese.
Josh and William. Josh going, I want the damn loot! And William going, not at all.
I was actually on the fence of making a really dirty sex pun
Oh, okay.
about holes, but I
No,
decided not
There's
to.
enough
We're good for that.
today.
Weary, with a 21 survival check, you note that there were some cart tracks that divert off the path very steeply down a hill to the other side of the road, which the other side of the road leads down to Virtue's Lock.
Card took a tumble.
Cart did take tumble.
These cheeses that are... You said that other enchantment was old. Is there any enchantment on this crate to keep the food fresh?
I'll piggyback off your previous Arcana check and say you don't think so. You didn't notice any
I
other
don't
enchantments or
think
magic
so.
at all,
I didn't
except for
notice
the
any
items.
other charms or magic at all, except on the items that I put to the top of the pile.
I've got a bit of a theory. Traveling holy man on a cart loses control of the horses or the horse. Cart takes a tumble. Him and his supplies get knocked off. No means of taking his goods into town. Stores them, goes into town, and stays there until he can get someone to come back and help him. Maybe.
Just in case I didn't make it clear, you can follow the tracks down the hill to see what happened to the car.
Oh, cool.
That
I
is
thought you were
perfectly
gonna run off.
plausible. No, you can just go down the hill and have a look. If you
All
wish.
right, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you head on down to the water. And hello. Any time this week.
Ooh. You got
Sure.
flashbang.
Yeah. Ugh.
There we go. You head on down to the water, and you will note that there is a completely shattered cart. Half of which it seems might have floated away, which would include the reins to the horse. And as you guys look down at it, it's sort of wedged half in the rocks, half in the water. The water flows quite quickly. You would know that Virtue's Lock can only be crossed by boat up the Helmfirth, which is the river opposite Lochside, or over the land bridge at Fleet Landing. There is no other way of crossing Virtue's Lock. It's a very swift-running lock. And you will notice that there is an indication of somebody coming down here to the cart, tracks that go up and down the hill. But as you look more closely, can I have a perception check from Weary and from anybody else that's proficient, please. I think that's quite a few of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's an 11.
18.
Was Anivari also
Nine.
proficient in perception? Okay. An 18, yeah. Dinari, as you look down, you see what appears to be a body in the water, stuck between a few of the rocks. It's not a complete body.
Oh.
About half a body.
I'm assuming then the other half would be downstream.
That is
This is, like,
likely,
kinda caught
although
on some
you will
stuff?
note that it looks like the body has been pecked at, potentially eaten by scavengers and creatures. Given your knowledge, you'd believe the body to be between 5 and 6 days old. And yeah, it looks like they died almost immediately, and then the corpse was picked at. There's no signs of struggling at all. The
Tim,
footprints,
don't get
however,
any ideas.
the footprints look very organized. There's a pair of a pair of footprints makes it indicate that that's one person. That's really weird. Two pairs of footprints. That's bizarre. There's a pair of pairs of footprints. Two sets of footprints that go very neatly up and down the hill 5 or 6 times. It looks like somebody came down, retrieved the goods from the cart, put them in the tree, went back down, got more of the goods, stored it all, and then wandered off.
So this is either a group of people who also encountered the same wreckage we did, or they were all like a group of people and one of them died and the rest of them were kind of faring things.
Both of those assumptions could easily be
That's-
correct.
yeah,
Yes.
Mhm. So I'm going to take a quick look
Well-
at the inventory. You guys can...
There's 3 ways we could look at this. We could look at it the way both Dinari put it, the 2 ways of either these people are part of this man's crew, or these people stumbled upon the case and therefore it's theirs because finders keepers, or we say that we found it again. They stored it. Technically, maybe didn't abandon it, but we found it and stumbled upon it again. So finders keepers. But that does imply that we are certain that this crew, or these pairs, these 2 sets of footprints, aren't to do with the man or the body at the bottom of the lock. At the bottom of where the lock is. So, look, do we want to do the honourable thing, or do we want to help ourselves?
How visible were these things from the road? Very clearly?
What, the cart?
No, the tree.
Very clearly.
We came at it from the other angle. But okay.
Very clearly. Anybody walking down the path would see them.
Maybe they're a gift for those who have travelled a long way.
Or for those who
town
roll a
is-
69.
You know, this town is quite far away from any other civilization. Perhaps it's a welcome basket.
Most crime is opportunistic, though.
It is a bit like you to assume someone's personal belongings of a corpse are a gift for you to take, isn't it?
Oh,
Or if you prefer, we can let the cheese stay here, let the magic item stay here, and I suppose when we go into town and someone says, "Hey, I'll give you 100 gold if you can make a charcuterie board," and we say, "Well, shit, we left all our cheese outside. There goes the 100 gold."
I like the way that you
Okay.
thought you needed cheeses for a charcuterie board.
It's cheese and crackers now, and grapes.
Just cheese.
That's the main thing.
No, charcuterie is literally a selection
charcuterie
of
board.
meat.
Well, the
Meat,
butcher can
cheese, crackers.
bring those.
it's a vegetarian charcuterie
Hey,
board.
thank you.
Otherwise known as a cheese board.
One sounds fancier.
All I'm saying is they can either help people or they can help no one. I would prefer they helped people. But if we want to help no one, then we can help no one.
I mean, honestly,
But-
they don't seem like it was something they intended to come back for and find here. If they were left like this.
They're very neatly stacked.
Is there any denotation
Or they
on
were,
the
Phil William.
priestly vestments as to like what religion, like what god
Give me a religion
they're
check.
affiliated with?
Weary, you can give me one with advantage as well if you wish. If you look at these.
Oh, beautiful.
The worshipper of
Because
all
you
gods.
will inevitably worship this god, regardless of who they are.
Oh, look
I
at
got
that.
8.
Oh,
Nice.
nice!
Oh,
wow.
Nat 20 for a minus 1 on top of that. But
He just leans
19.
over and tells you immediately that these are priestly vestments of Indus. Indus is the god of creation and industry.
absolutely.
One thing worth mentioning is a lot of Indus priests are very humble. They wear fairly simple garments. So garments of this quality would either be very ceremonial or a very high up priest in the order.
You say ceremonial, and now I go back to the same argument that I had with William about the necklace. That these are, even though most of these items are random, there also are items of extreme sentimental value.
I will tell you that they do appear that they have never been worn. That is for sure. They are brand new, like just sewn. Well, maybe at least 5 days ago.
Maybe there's a priest of Indus in town, staying there for some reason. Maybe it's to do with Amanda, because don't priests don't holy people fight the undead and stuff like that?
Oh, I thought you were trying to imply that Amanda was somehow pious.
No, quite the opposite.
You've been touched by a holy woman.
She could be. She could be. Oh, I don't.
You know that even if she was,
No.
she probably doesn't worship Indus.
No. Well, you never know. She might like to. She might.
Yes.
You know what I mean. She might like to craft things.
Yes.
It's your calling as a representative of every god ever to convert her.
That's me.
Okay.
Converted to which one though?
What's the verdict, guys? You're about 3.5, 4 miles out of town. Obviously,
This
we
one's
know
up to
that
you
Josh
guys.
and William would both like to take everything.
No, actually, neither of us want to take everything.
Sorry,
I
Josh and
think-
William want to take everything of value, use, and purpose.
No, because that's everything. No, I want to take the magic items. William wants to take the magic items and the cheeses.
Cheeses and preserves, by the way. There's chutneys and jams in there.
Yeah, sure.
We
Whatever.
have like a bajillion days of rations. I was just checking your group loot.
It ain't cheese and chutney.
Yeah, but cheese gets better and better.
would
Speaking
actually
of which, does
agree with
anybody
the
know
item.
much about mercantile goods? I mean, I would imagine that Weary has probably sailed on a merchant ship at some point. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'd have to.
Okay. So
That's
you would
most
certainly.
ships.
You're also the cook for the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would certainly know that the cheeses are probably worth a fair amount of money, perhaps even more than the other goods that you're carrying with you. To have a crate that large full of different luxury cheeses and chutneys is a fairly big haul. You would also know that many merchant vessels travel down Virtue's Lock to make the stop at Fleet Landing and then either deliver over to Blythewood or or Norvina or the various other, in and around close towns. It's more effective than dropping it at Durban and having it run via land for a lot of the time. So a haul like this is probably quite expensive. Weary is neutral on what is done. Jack needs to be right.
Well, the fact that now that they're of really high value now brings the question of
Somewhat
got
high
a shady
value.
group of people. Well, yeah, but still a shady group of people show up to a random port with a whole bunch of really expensive items with probably fuck all in terms of an explanation of how we got it. I don't look like a cheese merchant.
Well, the magic bag could be a bag of holding. We could just stuff it all in there.
Yeah.
Why would the... I mean, it might be, but you would assume that
What is this bag of
that
holding
is
you speak of?
nonsensical. Yes.
It's the legendary item.
I am just a beginner adventurer. I know not to what you speak.
Bag of holding.
Yeah, I think it holds you up, so you don't have to walk. But it's a bag.
Nice. Bag of levitation.
Oh, I thought he was talking about like a
It's a
belt.
pair of hands. That's why
No,
it's a
holds
holding.
me up.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything in the bag?
No, it is completely empty. It's very obvious.
What's in the pouches?
Yeah, as you look at these pouches, there's nothing in them. But as you sort of go to peer into each one, it makes a sort of noise.
Whoopee cushions.
Sort of. Not whoopee cushions. Sort of to the bag of wind. Yeah, in fact, it's a bag of air. Having one of these pouches would allow you to breathe underwater for about an hour. Or in a noxious land or anything else. It's basically their bottled breath. But they're not the bottled breath potion that also lets you cast Gust.
I think I found middle ground. What if we all take one item each? And we just leave the rest?
So that someone knows their shit's been stolen, but also might still have some of their stuff.
Can you guys hear something? I don't hear anything.
I mean, I actually think that would be fair. If I had anything to leave, I'd leave it, but I don't.
The only thing that I have to offer is still the same services I guess I showed before in the other corpse to this one.
It would be a fairly dangerous extraction to get the body out the water.
Oh, it's not like stuck on a...
No, it's in the... Like, you can see it, but you can't touch it. It's like a good 7 or 8 feet, like, in the water, trapped in some reeds, etc. Like, it would be a real difficult job. You can if you want to, but it'll involve ropes and team coordination,
really
athletics
gross.
checks,
Yeah.
and it will be
Really, really
vile.
gross.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get anyone else involved in
You can say a quiet prayer and leave it where it is. Good. Cool. So you guys want to go with the one item each process? Would you like to try and identify the magical items before taking one item each?
Sure.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check from yourself as you look at the bag specifically. I will take... Anivari, can you cast spells yet?
I can.
Change your spellcasting modifier to... change your Arcana modifier to Charisma for the rest of the campaign.
Oh, you did tell me that, yeah.
I did already. Fantastic. You can give me an Arcana check as you look at the braces and the boots. Josh, what did you get?
I got an 18.
An 18. Yeah, this bag is empty, and when you put something in it, it expels it immediately. This indicates that perhaps something specific can be pulled from it, should you try. And indeed, when you think hard enough about it and you start to try and discern the nature, this is a handy spice pouch. It can store a certain amount of spices and they can be retrieved. And indeed, once you start to realize this, there is a whole inventory of spices in here.
Okay.
Again,
I'll tell
you
Jack
would
when he
know
comes
that
back,
is
but I'll give it to Weary.
that's an expensive item.
Yeah, a portable spice rack.
I've got a 13, and I'm going to add a d4.
Love that. Deal it out. Don't wait for the right moment to start taking everybody's shit. Start and make each moment right.
See, even the card agrees.
Which makes it a
16.
16. Yeah, the braces are of daggers. I think that's the exact name of the item. Let me just double check.
Braces of daggers.
Yes. So...
Oh, like Assassin's Creed, kind of like...
you can throw daggers using
That was
these?
Spider-Man. Well, he just did it with
Was it? Are they on the top or are they?
No, I think you're right. I think they do come out of here, but it's like a single blade that comes out to like sword with. It's like.
Bracer of flying daggers. Is that what it is?
Just put a
What is
quick
it? What
little,
did you
like,
say,
return statement on
Elora?
it.
Bracer of flying daggers.
I still can't hear Elora. Sorry. What did you say, Elora?
Bracer flying daggers.
Wow, now you've lagged. Braces of flying
Oh
daggers?
my
Flying
gosh.
daggers,
Yeah, there you go.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Literally, it just allows them to manifest endless daggers. That is all it does.
Could do a lot of things with endless daggers.
They do count as magical items. They vanish if you don't throw them straight away. Never runs out of daggers. Yes, bracer of flying daggers is the correct item.
We don't have a rogue.
Got there eventually. Sorry, Laura. Yes, you don't have a rogue, but you do like magical weapons. They are useful. And you do have multiple people who use dex weapons.
Somebody who likes to use a lot of different weapons.
That
That's
too.
true.
That too. The boots are boots of striding and springing.
Jack,
Yeah.
I have given Weary the bag. It has a
Oh, you've
bunch
just
of
decided
different-
that's his? Okay.
Well, he's the cook. It's full of different spices. And you can also
Ooh.
store spices in there.
Let's go backwards
Bag
a
of
little bit.
spices.
Jack, the party have decided that the appropriate compromise is to only take one item of each thing.
Okay.
That one counts as your item.
I
And they have
respect that.
decided that that is yours. I'm trying to look for the name of the item because I have it somewhere. Oh, that's why it's not working. I'm searching my creations instead of my... That's what I'm looking for. It is called... Oh, I've tried to type that in. I'm having a bad day, guys. I've also got 73 tabs open. It feels
Oh
so.
my god.
Not literally, but it's just endless. Like,
Oh.
there's an item somewhere that's called a bag or a sack or a spice or a thing or whatever, and I keep searching it and I can't find it. Is this a magical item that already exists? Is that the problem? It is. It already
Stewart's
exists.
handy spice
It
pouch.
is. What? Yes, it is. And specifically,
Legacy,
it
wondrous
is,
item.
yeah,
Druid's
Legacy's
handy
fine.
spice pack.
Yeah, legacy is fine. There you go. It's that. So there's there's a braces that produce endless flying daggers. There is a bag of spice. There is some boots of striding and springing, and there's 14 caps of. You can add a cap of water breathing for them if you want to take one, but realistically, they're just fresh air, and they're an hour's worth, and they recharge at dawn. There's also the priestly vestments, which don't appear to be magical at all.
Druid's
and-
handy spice chest has 10 charges, and I have to. So once we're in town, I have to like buy more spices.
No.
and stuff
They,
like that.
they regenerate in the morning. At dawn, I
Oh,
believe.
shit.
Yeah, they should magically restock themselves. Yes, pouch regains 1d6 plus 4 expended charges daily at dawn. Josh, having decided to hand one magical item out to each, is absolutely fuming that there's nothing there that he wants.
I'll take a cheese. A nice brie. A brie if they've got one.
Yeah, I mean, you can take. You can all take a cap of water breathing if you want, for an hour's breathing. If you want to take
Cap of water.
2 items instead of 1. But yes, those seem to be the only magical items.
I like the
present.
compromise.
Yeah.
You like the boots.
Well, there is the boots of striding
I
and
would
springing. That's
love
true.
the boots, but one item is one item.
Well, Josh, you don't want any of them, do you?
No.
Before
The
anybody
boots of
specifically
striding.
gets their boots, does anybody have less than 30 feet movement speed? Because they are way more beneficial to somebody who has less than 30 feet movement speed than anybody else.
That's true.
I think you've all got 30.
An
or
argument
more.
for Anivari to have them is that eventually they will also ignore. I guess this may not be an issue for you due to your strength, but is it something that they ignore?
Heavy armor, which am I supposed to
Yeah.
be penalized for that? I don't know.
I don't think you would. I think your strength would be high enough.
You
that
would
I think
need
waive
you would
that.
need to find the heaviest set of armor in history, Elora. I think you've already got 16 strength, right? And it's only going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although to be
Yeah.
fair, jumping 30 feet every turn.
Yeah, but I'm usually
Pretty
on
great.
horseback.
Yeah, that's
Dinari,
true.
you wear
Oh.
medium armor, right? But should you find a fancy breastplate, you could potentially need
No, I
those.
think I have light armor right now.
Yeah, but you...
It's leather.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay, I thought you had...
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
could wear light, you could wear medium, you could technically wear heavy as well, right?
Yes,
But even
so
you
yeah,
are
I am
very
proficient with
close
everything.
to the strength mark. Yeah, I think
fuck
Weary
that.
being able to jump is much more exciting. Yeah, I love that for you. And Josh doesn't want them, so... Cool. Okay, 2 items for Weary, and we're leaving the priest vestments there.
Yeah, of course.
Love that. Cool. All right, you're heading on down the road to Lochside, is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. You take your time and approach the town at about 3:45 a.m. As you get there, you will note that there are 2 torches on the way into town, lit either side of the road. 2 big braziers. You see how I removed the truck, Elora? I accidentally left a truck in the art when I was first booting it up. Who's pinging a mountain? That's something specific? Have I missed something? Josh?
It's a whole bunch of arrows on my end.
What are you doing, Josh? You're muted, so I don't understand what you're
You're
saying.
muted.
Just annoying me.
You've got arrows there.
Arrows?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
arrows.
All
Not
the
for
lines
me.
you're drawing for distances.
What color are
I
they?
can still see them.
Oh, they're purple.
Everything.
They're his. They're dark
I got purple, orange, black.
Better?
Nope, they didn't go. Maybe they're bumpkins.
I didn't draw anything.
Nope, still there. They're on every page.
You'll have to refresh them. That's a you
Oh.
problem, not a me problem.
That's okay. Ooh.
Anyway, 2 torches that are lit either side of the road. As you approach, you will see somebody sort of standing a little way behind the torch on the hillside. As soon as they notice you, however, they scurry away into a building in town, quickly out of your sight. It should be noted they're about 5 foot tall and have platinum blonde hair that sort of almost white in the night.
I'd say that's weird, but people don't usually like us when we go in towns.
Bumpkin, you're
they-
being asked, are you definitely taking those braces? Braces of daggers?
Yeah, I guess.
Does that mean
Don't have
Anivari
to.
didn't get anything? Is that what happened?
Got the. Oh, that might be. Hold on.
There were only 3 magical
I-
items, so... And
Yeah.
that doesn't... Yeah, that makes sense.
But we all got caps of breathing.
You did get caps of water breathing. Do either... Does
I
anybody
assume you
go-
wanted them. If you want them, have them.
No.
If you don't want them,
I don't know. I guess not particularly. I think.
Could always sell them.
You do
It was-
also
it was very
you do also wield a hand axe that you can throw, right?
Yeah.
they're dex based, aren't they?
Who needs?
Never mind.
No, daggers are finesse.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay, then I'll
I
take them.
don't think they become dex based if you throw them. I think they're still finesse even if you throw them. So yeah.
Yeah.
They will just use your higher stat. I don't want them. Oh, hold on. If I throw them hard, they're useful. Sorry. So yes, you guys approach town. Are we happy? Are we done with the loot? Because I don't want to.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I want you guys to be with us as we step on into the town. Large brazier-like torches either side of the road, brightly lit. You wouldn't expect these in a normal town. That's not like, oh, we've lit a lamp so that people can see. Like, they are bright, and they're obviously like there for a reason. And you think they might be female, about 5 foot tall. A long sweep of white or platinum blonde hair. They ducked away into a building. You're unable to work out which building.
Do
from
they
this
look like
distance.
adults?
If they are an adult, they're either perhaps maybe elven of blood. They're short for a human adult at least. So perhaps either elven or half elven, or even it could have been a slightly tall halfling or a slight dwarf. Or many other races that aren't quite the right height. It could easily have also been an adolescent. You're not sure.
The right height. What kind of Freudian slip was that?
What did I say?
You said
height for an adult.
like other races that are the right height.
Oh,
It was
right, I
like-
see what you mean. Other races that are a correct height to be one of these, to be that person.
I know.
Yes, I see what you mean.
I'm just messing with you,
yeah,
James.
that's
I'm just
that's
messing
hilarious.
with
I hadn't even noticed I said it. I was so confused. But yeah, so that's what you see so far. You can hear the waves crashing away, and you do see a couple of boats in harbour. And you're now looking at me like there shouldn't be any waves. I know it looks like it is a river, but it is what we call a loch, which is weird because I don't know why it would be called a loch if it goes out of the sea. That shouldn't be the case, but apparently they are. So this is basically where it's a stretch of water that comes inland from the sea that is close enough to the sea that the tide still affects it. If any, in a way, it's like a very elongated beach that comes inwards quite a long way before then flowing into a river.
Who normally speaks?
What this
for us?
means
I
is
can't
that
remember.
the water is not flowing out to the sea, but is instead statically present where you
Okay.
are. Who normally speaks for you? Whoever the fuck wants to. William has the charisma score, as does Anivari, but neither of them is particularly chatty.
Yeah. I get behind. I move behind Dinari and I push her forward a bit.
There is no one to talk to, though, right? This town is now abandoned, right? That person slipped away.
Are there any houses that
Oh, okay.
look like there's people inside?
There are no lights on in this town at all, except for the burning
In the
braziers
houses,
out
just the
by the road.
braziers.
And give me a perception check.
Okay.
Gonna say anything that looks like an inn.
I'm assuming no foot traffic either.
That's a 13.
Definitely nobody out on the road. With a 13, you note that there is a lighthouse a little way down from the town where there's a light. And looking around for an inn, you don't see any buildings that look like any business at all. Not only do you not see an inn, but you don't see a shop. You don't see a food place. A lot of the buildings look like storage buildings or warehouses.
Weird.
Nothing looks welcoming. There are very few windows, and those that are shuttered tight. The town feels unwelcoming.
Do any of us know any information about this town?
The only information you have is that Ben the beekeeper delivers honey up here occasionally.
Yeah.
That it is a regular port stop for people coming in from the sea that are then going up the Harvard River, which is opposite this town. So there is some trade here from what you know for the harbour. And I think that's probably about it. It's not a
Anything
well-known
like a
village.
Town hall or a meeting place in the center? And
There is a larger building that has a spire on the top. It doesn't look like a church as much as just a building of importance.
I guess we head there.
Yeah.
Okay. As you head there, can I just take all your passive perceptions, please? Because I usually have this up and I don't have it today.
9.
Sorry, what, Elora? Did you say 9?
I said 9.
Shit, the bed. Do you have a bag on your head?
My only
So
character
focused
I've
on
ever
my
made has
horse.
a minus wisdom and didn't take perception.
just walking around like this.
Yeah, just
Bumpkin.
blinders.
12.
12. Jack
13.
and William.
12.
Fantastic. William, Weary, and Dinari, those of you who are not walking around with a bag on your head, as you walk through the town, you keep catching glimpses out to the side, as if the shadows are moving or something a little out of your eye line. You can either make a perception check each, or before you roll, if you prefer, you guys can designate somebody and you can sort of say, hey, can you get a closer look or whatever, and designate an individual. And if you do that, they will have advantage.
I got a +2 already going for me on perception.
Yeah, same.
The same.
I have a +3.
That is how your passive perception
You
is
win.
calculated, by the
Yeah.
way. Yes, but
Yeah.
do you want a +3 with advantage, or do you want 3 attempts with a +3 and 2+2s.
That sounds pretty
Well,
good.
I'd like
Yeah.
I'd like to do something else to help.
Okay, what is that?
I'd like to use mold darkness to get rid of the shadows in whatever direction we're looking.
That doesn't make any sense. You could get rid of shadows, but there's no light, right? So there's nothing to put there in its place. It would just be more darkness.
But the sky, the moon's getting off. Like we're not in pitch black.
It is pretty dark, and there are 2 bright light braziers behind you. I say, okay, cool, I can go with that. There are 2 brightly lit braziers that are casting some shadows. Go ahead and give me an advantage perception check, Weary. And I will say that, William, as you do this, you definitely note a shadowy presence leaping away as the shadows dissipate.
21.
Yeah, with a 21, you are being watched and potentially also followed, but you can't make out any people. They're good at what they're doing. You would assume they've got rolled a very good stealth check.
Yeah, I'll whisper to everyone, be on your guard.
And almost
think
as
that's
soon
a
as you
given.
say that, a young-looking boy, maybe 12, 13 years old at most, is standing behind you across the road, holding a crossbow and pointing it straight at you, and says, "What do you want here? Are you lost?"
No.
You've only answered
We're-
one of my questions.
We're not lost. We were traveling. We ended up needing to be out of town in the middle of the night for a long story to find an herb that we didn't get. And then we stopped in here, hoping for shelter.
Sounds lost to me. You're looking for shelter. That barn's abandoned. Sleep in there if you want. And he nods towards a building right on the edge of town.
Where is everyone?
Sleep in bed in their homes. What you'd expect at this time of night.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect people hiding in shadows with crossbows.
Town of business. Guard our business.
And what's the business? I say with a raised eyebrow.
Not yours.
And yet you would like ours.
Our town.
Aren't you a bit young to be on the city guard?
City guard. You think this is Norvina? We'll take a turn at the watch. Don't think my age means I can't use this. And he sort of points the crossbow a little more firmly at you.
Does he look like he's struggling with the weight of it? It's not heavy. Is it just hand?
It would be classed as a light crossbow mechanically, which is neither of the two you mentioned. He's holding it with 2 hands. He does not only does he appear very comfortable holding it, but to both Weary and Dinari's trained eye, he clearly does know how to use it and is aiming it properly.
Who's he aiming at?
Right now, Anivari.
Whereabouts? Like to kill? Like to the heart?
You haven't got a clue.
Okay.
Because you're a wizard. Or sorcerer, sorry, I'm so,
Turn it on,
so
Pete.
sorry.
How dare!
You're a puny magic user with no proficiency in the crossbow. Actually, I think everybody has proficiency in my crossbow.
I
weirdly enough.
do.
Um,
I can use a crossbow. Like
I think it's.
a
I
dagger,
think
a dart.
every character in D&D has proficiency in a light crossbow, which is weird because they're quite hard to use. Anyway, he definitely appears like he knows what he's doing and knows how to use it, and he sort of looks at you again. And are you going to stay in the abandoned barn then? Maybe you could conduct normal business during normal hours, daytime. And then Weary, you hear a sort of like a sort of almost like a hissed whistle. It's definitely a signal of some sort from way behind you. It sounds like it was quite high up as well.
Something's a bit more fishy than we originally
He makes a
thought,
gesture
even
with
all
his
the
hand.
fishiness going on.
That sort of he holds 2 fingers up and then sort of cocks one halfway and then points somewhere. It's a very quick motion. I'll take a straight charisma check from all of you. I really wish there was a worldly knowledge skill. And it should be a charisma skill.
So just straight charisma?
Yeah, it's a straight charisma check. Nobody would be proficient in this.
15.
No. A natural 1 for a -1.
14.
Yeah, 6.
Okay. Both William and Anivari, you've seen people use various forms of sign language in, like merchants to communicate across distances, etc. You know it was a sign of some sort. You have no recognition of what. But there's definitely someone else also watching you. When you look around, you can't see them.
We
Look
don't
there,
want
mate,
any trouble.
Good.
Exactly.
Us neither. The barnet is?
Their commerce here often.
He looks a
We
little
leave
uncomfortable
tonight.
for a moment. And, what do you mean?
Shops, the like.
Harbourmaster buys stuff.
Where do you get your food?
He shrugs. Doesn't say anything. Don't grow
Do you
it.
usually
That's what you
get
mean.
cheese?
Cheese. Did you actually ask that out loud?
No.
Ships come, don't they? Got fisherman boats too.
James, what was the god of the priest garments?
Indus.
Outside of town? Indus. I'll say. Are there any worshippers of Indus here?
Suppose it might be.
Jeez, I roll my eyes very hard at this boy.
No churches here. People
What do
worship what they
people
will.
here do for a living?
Most of them fishermen, work at the docks. Some do other things.
What other things?
There's a weaver other side of town.
Is there a dyer?
No. She weaves baskets and stuff. A lot of
Is
questions.
there anybody who might be familiar with the herbs of the area? Plants and such?
Maybe you should ask the Harbourmaster tomorrow. He might know. He's in charge around here. As he's speaking, you get the impression that he's sort of trying to back out the conversation.
Is there something else catching your attention?
What do you mean?
Hmm?
What do you mean?
Got some nondescript hand signals and notice you slowly inching away. Is there pending danger?
Don't like strangers much. Look, we've offered you the barn. Should take it.
I
So long
think
as
I
there's no
relax a... Oh, sorry.
Don't worry.
No, that was all I said.
I think I relax a little, and I think they listen. Just someone trying to protect their town. They're offering us, they're offering us a place to stay. I think we've all got off on the wrong foot. I think we have a night's rest. We pick it up in the morning. Show you we mean no harm.
He nods and should do that.
Thank you for your offer.
Jeez, what a dick.
Do you want to keep arguing with the man with the crossbow aimed between your eyes?
He's 13. He's not ready.
You hear that whistle signal again,
Jeez.
and there's like a weight lifted off your shoulders as soon as you hear this. All of you, as soon as you hear that signal, it's like the eyes have left you. I will take an Arcana check from anybody that's proficient. I think it's likely just William.
That is a 16.
There was definitely some sort of magic that was affecting you that just stopped, but you don't know what it would have been.
And there was no
There's no visual
indication
indication
when
at
we And there was no like feeling about or anything when we got in the village. Was it like really subtle?
When you think about it, you know that it was in place once you passed those braziers. You can't remember if it was in place before that.
Do I get the hint of what kind of effects it might have had on us? Like, is that a truth or?
You're not sure.
Okay, I will keep that.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
You can go chill in a hut. I know you guys won't need a long rest, but you will notice that in the middle of this barn, you can put the horses in there. There's plenty of space. It is like a stable barn sort of area, so you can walk the horses in like the main big door at one end. But you will notice in the middle of this barn is what appears to be a sort of hollowed out area for a campfire. And there is a sort of gap in the thatching, which would let out smoke, as well as 2 shuttered windows either side. So you could use the little fire at the center to have a meal if you wish.
Is there any hay in this?
No, none at all. And in fact, there's a couple of things stored in this barn. There are 2 old-looking wagons. They're quite rickety, ill-kept wagons. And there's also a large store of firewood on the other side. Sort of enough for half the village. It's clear they're using it as some sort of storage. As you guys are relaxing, are you lighting the fire? Are you having some food? It's quite cold. That doesn't mean you should eat,
Definitely.
but it might mean you'd like the fire. Cool. And you will note as the smoke drifts up and you sort of watch it lazily, weary, you will see that there was somebody on the roof near one of the chimneys that moves away when the smoke starts going through.
That's exactly what I was going to ask, if there was anybody still watching us nearby.
You are certain that whilst they're not watching from there, they are probably still watching you somehow.
What a bunch of creeps.
There are strangers who rocked up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Who are heavily
So-
armed.
Couple of tieflings, a terrifying-looking fighter, and a really quite handsome elf. It's a
Oh,
bit of a
stop.
strange concoction.
Yeah, it's a weird group.
Well, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? With 2 horses, but one of which
I
is
guess, but like
quite
adventures
fine.
are a thing in this world, though. No, I mean,
This is not a place where adventurers would visit. You'd know that.
well, and I can fucking see why the hospitality has gone to shit.
It's an odd place for you to be, for anyone to visit at this time of night. Their reaction is not as weird as you're painting it to be.
I don't know. It seems pretty weird.
I mean, I'd say the weirdest thing is that we were greeted by a 13-year-old with a crossbow.
The fact that he was young is a strange indication. Yes, that would be the
Well,
most.
they also don't have a tavern or really shops or anything, but they're a harbour town, so they
Maybe-
must get lots
Village.
of
I want to make village really clear. It's
Oh,
small.
sorry, village. But still, they should surely get trade.
We keep
What, you
saying
guys didn't know how to-
13-year-old boy, but he could be a vampire as well, and he's 600.
Yeah, that's true,
Hmm.
actually.
I am so glad someone has finally said that. I was really hoping it would arouse some suspicions. He's probably only a year or so younger than Amanda. Maybe 2.
I think everyone's a vampire until proven otherwise. Oh, speaking of actually, do we know, like, are the vampire fangs retractable in this world? Is that why we didn't see it in Amanda, or was she like talking like this constantly?
You don't know. You certainly didn't
Okay.
notice any on Amanda.
I'll wait till Weary turns, see if he can retract his.
Do you know what? When I first made the encounter, I considered it being a process, but I felt like at level 2 it was taking agency away real early to make you change race. So I let you stay.
But let's
cool
get to
man.
level 3 first.
Yeah, I know, right? Speaking
I
of
would've done
leveling.
it.
Yeah, but it could have been anyone, right? Speaking of leveling, you're not leveling. But you do gain some experience. There is a 10 experience gain for visiting a new town, as well as an extra 10 experience for noticing the Watcher up behind you. So 20 experience in total.
What about for stealing all the goods?
Nothing.
Or finding the goods.
As you're relaxing in the barn, about 3 hours pass. It's about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning when there is a fairly firm knock on the main door of the barn. It doesn't sound like somebody's hand. It sounds like they've wrapped it with a stick or staff.
Yeah, I'll get up and open it.
Before you can open it, you just hear, "I'm coming in."
Come
And
on
then the
in.
door opens and is immediately closed behind them. They are very slight of build, perhaps 15 or 16 years old at most. Male, with a shock of white hair, really, really short. Like almost like cut back very recently.
Ooh, maybe this is like that town in Fallout 3 that's just run by kids, and then once they hit a certain age, they get kicked out.
Like Lord of the Flies.
Oh, thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't get the name. Yeah.
He says nothing more. And he walks over and places something in... Who would have approached him? Anybody in particular?
I was approaching the door.
You're approaching the door?
when
He places like a scrumpled up piece of parchment in your hand and then walks off to leave.
Wait.
He turns back to you. He just shakes his head. Best you don't ask questions.
Conspiracy.
I look at the note.
You will note that it looks like he wrapped with the back handle of a dagger, and he is still clutching the dagger in his hand, although it is in its sheath. And yeah, as you open up the picture, you see this.
Oh,
Oh,
that's really cute.
an admirer.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Either that or it's like a warning of like. we
I
know
mean,
your
like, does it
face.
say wanted underneath it? Or...
Nothing, but I will say that it does look like it was drawn at least a few days ago. It's not a sketch that's just been done.
Why of you?
I don't.
Oh, is that you? Oh, hold on.
You've been looking at it
Let me look
upside
at
down, Wary. It's fine.
Oh. Oh.
Well, I mean, the jawline, it
Oh,
really
see
could be
it now.
William.
What you saying? All Tieflings look alike? Dude.
I see it now.
He said this was several days old.
Do you know anyone from here?
Just a heads up, Elora, I'm sending you a message.
Yeah,
You're gonna die in 7 days.
Oh, yeah. You explode. No save.
well, guys knowing y'all.
All right.
I nearly sent the message to Josh. That would have been a fucking
Oh, that would have
disaster.
been amazing.
So,
I
we
think
need
we
to
should leave.
figure out who drew it.
Why? Why should we leave? What is
Yeah.
this? Do you know what this is about?
We can fight off this town.
I don't know what it's about. I just don't want to be here anymore.
Can I insight check to see what kind of emotions are reading on Anivara's face?
Can you say a name?
Anivari?
Okay, you called her Anivaro.
Oh, sorry.
That's honestly that is up to Elora. It's not up to me.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
who I,
Yes.
who I was asking.
Yes.
I wasn't asking you. Yeah. What?
And normally when somebody says, "Can I make a check?"
Nice.
It
20.
Yeah, there's definitely panic.
Are you afraid of something here?
Can we just go?
What are you afraid of? Just give us a day. Just the day.
I'm gonna just walk over to retreat and start just tacking up.
Come on, I mean, it's a
Alright.
village of teenagers. Surely
All right.
anything scary here, you can just backhand.
What about if we find Amanda first?
Why would we find her? You want another
'Cause I
bite?
don't- No, but we have we have like a rapport with her, so like
A
you know.
rapport. She deceived us, bit you, luckily hasn't turned you yet, but who knows, and then disappeared into the night. That's not a
William,
rapport.
William, give me a perception check as you say this.
If I see her in the corner of my That's a 19.
You hear a sort of muffled giggle from up near one of the windows as you say that.
No, but like if we find her and we show that like, look, it's okay. We're not angry. We're not here to like try to seek retribution or anything like that.
Mhm.
And then she knows the ins and the outs of the town. Maybe we can get an upper hand on this situation to do with this lovely sketch. And
There's no upper hand here.
what do you mean?
You can't trust any of them.
Why? I mean, I got that with, the 13-year-old with the crossbow, but why did you know that?
Can we go?
All right.
Alright, I guess.
To be fair, we came to the city looking for potential merchants, and we're pretty short on that front here.
Yeah, that's true.
I see no need to argue this. Yeah.
Sure, I suppose we can always go try and find the druid or the witch.
Look, let's just talk on the road.
Who currently has the picture?
I assume Anivari would still.
Does she?
Yeah, I did have it in my hand, unless anybody took it to take a closer look.
Yoink!
No, I was just curious to see if you keep it or not.
Just for my own fun, will you roll a perception check?
I'd love to. That's a 19. Oh, really great. These dice. Nice.
I slipped different paper into my pocket.
A different paper.
Yes, a second piece of paper.
I will walk over to the horse. And because that's where Anivari is, James.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Right, okay,
selling.
sorry.
Um,
That one step was like way too much for my brain to process.
and I'll put like a horse on a horse. A horse on top of the other horse. No one goes anywhere.
I neatly stack Whisper on top.
I just like very calmly put my hand on the saddle of the horse and like I kind of look at you, kind of like my eyes are like scanning your face, like reading you, and I just say, whatever it is, we can figure it out together. I think that's. I turn back to the other two and back to her. That's kind of why we're together, to help each other out. What is it?
Too many eyes, too many ears.
Well, I don't have message, so why don't you write down what you want to say,
Let's
and
just
then we'll all
leave.
huddle.
No, let's just leave and we'll sort this out once we've left.
Okay, fine. But can we
Does
leave
that
now?
sound like a
'Cause I'm
deal?
curious.
Okay. Well, Anivari seems like she wants. Seems like they want to leave immediately. So
I'm like 1 foot out the door.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Let's head off.
She just rides off, slams the barn doors open. Cool. Yeah, I'll also get Whisper ready to go too.
Is there anybody outside as we
Give me a
leave?
perception check.
My one good roll was my sleight of hand, and I still lost. 5.
Again, there's movement in the shadows. You know you're being watched, but you're not sure where from. You're not sure if it's still present.
Do we get that same kind of impending feeling, like the one that we like lost?
Not the magic.
There, and it doesn't come back.
Magic hasn't come back.
Okay. All right.
Are there many people walking about the town?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Weird.
It's still dark.
Oh,
Still
okay.
dark.
It's like
Sure,
dark.
yeah.
It's about 5:30.
Not quite dawn yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
As you are riding out of town, a little way down the road, maybe 10 or 15 minutes out of town, you're still within sort of very vague earshot of town. A woman approaches. She moves very quickly and almost sort of gliding across the ground. She wears close-fitting leather armor, has daggers at her waist and in her boots, and has a short sword at her hip. She also has a crossbow, sort of hand crossbow at her other hip, bolts on the back, and a sort of black hood which she's pulled closely around her face. As she approaches on the road, she sort of puts her hand up, and a small light appears in her hand. It's not a flame. It's not like she's threatening you. It's just a glimmering light. You get the impression that she's demonstrating that she has some magic, as well as allowing you to see the light on her face. Sorry, as allowing you to, preventing you from seeing any light on her face. Sorry, you know when like because the light's shining, her face appears darker in recesses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You, Anivari.
What?
You trained a few. You have friends as well as enemies. You're not the only one.
Recognize the voice.
No. Not at all. And then she looks to the rest of you and... You came to town for a reason. Can I help you at all?
How does
Anivari, are
Anivari-
you some sort of long lost princess or something like that? Like, what's going on?
When you say that, the woman also lets out a small laugh.
What is this
I
town?
was just gonna ask.
What
Sorry,
did,
say it again.
I didn't get any of the anythings. Let's go with Elora.
Yeah, sorry.
What did you say?
Said, what is this town?
Just a harbour village. And a good place to hide. Or be hidden.
Hide from who?
She doesn't reply. Came to town for a reason. Can I help you with that?
Yeah, what's Anavari's reaction to the idea of like someone from the town asking, or at least like giving the proposition of asking for like to do us a favor?
Cautious. But not unwelcoming.
Not sorry.
Not unwelcoming. Just
Unwelcoming.
cautious. We were looking for a cure for an illness. Can't remember the name of the herb, but it starts with like a G.
The Genosa plant. The
Yeah.
Genosha plant, sorry. She looks at you and... They grow on the hill in the forests nearby. Not many know of their
discovered that.
story. Not many know of their properties. You do. Couldn't find it?
We found the deed distasteful.
Cocks her head a little bit and... Did you? Fascinating. What did you hope the town would be able to help you with? There is no other magical plant growing in Lochside that is similar but less chatty.
Perhaps of a way to make use of it without harming the creature.
We don't have a herb lady. Stop asking the Witch of the Woods. You can find her.
Well, sorry, I just realized you meant like herb lady, as in like all one thing, not like we don't have a herb lady.
A herb master, I guess, would be the indication. Is that all you needed from the town?
It was why we went there.
She looks you over. Anyone wearing a pair of new boots?
Nope.
Or a pair of new
Nope.
braces?
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
no.
The wearies in the chat. Would you have put the new boots on?
Absolutely.
He looks over a few things and the only time merchants spend their money freely is to track down thieves.
Typically, things found out in the wilderness, available for anybody, wouldn't be considered theft.
Most people aren't wandering down the road at 3 o'clock at night.
I thought that. I was like, maybe they didn't hide it properly because they thought nobody would just find it in the middle of the night.
I think they might have been moved up to the town in the morning, but I didn't see anything.
What's the money for?
How genuine is that?
What questions? Elora, go again.
What's the money for?
Money for?
What is it used for?
The money in the... Are you referring to the money that you found in the goods?
No, I'm referring to if they were to sell the bracers to somebody. What
Oh,
would the money be used for?
she looks at you and fucked if I know. I'm not the merchant. What did you ask, Bumpkin?
Well, she said, kind of like, I won't say anything. I said, like, how genuine does that truly sound?
Giving in... interference? That's not what I'm looking for. An insight check! My brain would give me an interference. I'm like...
Goodness, this is a weird campaign.
I'm not in the swing of the DMing. Let's get myself up shape. 3. Yeah.
3.
Never
three
has a more trustworthy person ever been encountered. She who hides her face, you can't see it properly, you can't read her facial expressions. She's got a cloaked hood up, she's covered in daggers and hand crossbow. She is definitely the most trustworthy person you've ever met. There is no way she would ever pass your name on. But on a more serious note, you do think she doesn't look like somebody who's really into all the good things in the world. She looks like a shady woman.
Oh, the pun intent. Jesus. I know exactly why you're laughing.
Yeah. Shady.
Shady.
Unless William gets involved with his shadow shifting.
That would be rude.
It would. Both Bumpkin and Dinari surprised that bothers you. Simultaneously.
Well, she's not being mean to us. If this was the kid, then yeah, no light for you.
She looks and she sort of... Truth be told, they weren't a polite bunch. All their wares disappeared, I wouldn't be too bothered.
You say
So
what?
why have you met?
Go, Jack.
So why have you met us on the road?
She looks very pointedly at Anivari and says, "Too many ears, too many eyes." Which
Well, now that
would
there's not
recognise
so
as a
many-
repetition of what Anivari said in the barn.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Yeah, so now that there's not so many ears and eyes,
I wouldn't count on that.
Oh, I would.
Maybe we should just take our leave.
She definitely, when she says I would, she's telling you there is definitely nobody else eavesdropping here.
Sure. That's definitely we should leave.
Well,
Well, what?
you've stopped us here in order to give us some sort of information. Have you given it or not? Like you're being very cryptic.
You were seeking
Yeah,
help in the
for-
town? I came to see if you needed help. I had questions about her.
Oh, that's all.
Nothing more.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll just be on our way.
Well, no, because now I'm a bit pissed off that Anivari is a bit like in danger in this town.
It's
And-
fine, Weary.
No, it's not fine. What's the fucking go with like all this bloody nonsense? What's this all this shady business? What's the deal with the town? What's the deal with like Anivari being involved in it? Like, I want some answers. God damn it!
Weary, these are things we think and do not say.
She looks at you and she sort of goes on my secrets.
How many children?
Sorry, Elora, what did you say?
How many children?
What does it? Harm the children. I was like, all right. If you insist. She sort of looks at you and 12 at a time, right?
What?
What are they doing here?
She nods very slowly and I think you'd know better than I. I've said enough. With that, the light in her hand brightens slightly, and when it's gone, she's gone. Only slightly. It didn't like go. It wasn't like a beam of flash of light or anything. It was just brightened ever so slightly, so that she was a little bit darker, and then she was just gone. However, as she leaves, she does leave a tattered piece of cloth on the ground.
I'll pick up.
Ooh, will you? I like that.
I assumed one of the people on the ground would get to it before I would, but I didn't.
Oh, I was just waiting for your hand to get it.
It has a sort of. It's not quite this well drawn.
Is that a
It's,
mockingjay?
it's just a silhouette of a bird on it. That's all it is.
Does it look like it could possibly be our friendly neighborhood seagull?
No.
It's definitely not Tim.
No,
He's not a
it's a
seagull.
first of all.
Isn't he?
No,
What is he?
He's an albatross.
He's an albatross.
Oh, my bad.
I'm an albatross. You would know this is a land bird of some sort. All of you would. Anivari and Weary would be able to identify the bird as a swift if either of them was inclined to do so.
Well, yeah, I'll show it to Anivari. Does this mean anything to you? This symbol?
Yes.
Will you tell us when we leave town?
Giddy up.
And away we go!
Anivari, as you look at this cloth, give me an investigation or insight check, your choice.
So -1.
Or minus
or
eight.
-1. That'll get a D4 on it.
Do not fear failure. Just fear, not trying.
Not fear. Yeah, great.
Did you possibly roll your d4 because you did fear failure?
13.
14?
13.
13? Yeah, that's good, that's good. You are... I've just read Faris's message in chat as I sort of distracted me out the corner and made myself laugh. you are because I say exactly that has happened. My brain's shut down. We need a short break in a second. You are certain that there is more to this piece of cloth than just the picture depicted, but with a quick glance, you can't quite work it out. And on that note, we will take a short break so I can get myself functioning. Be right back. Welcome back to the second half. These people have all discussed their theories, but no secrets have been revealed off table, as far as I'm aware. I was away for a few minutes. Elora, you didn't just divulge everything, did you, while I was getting a tequila tea?
No, I went through my whole backstory.
Oh, okay. I was considering a tequila, and I came back with a herbal tea. It definitely is a sign of my age.
I meant to take the time to read my backstory, but it was a pretty short break.
I still haven't reread it. Don't worry too much about it. But I just do want to remind you guys that although we have been playing together for an entire 3 months, this is only session 6. And you guys as characters have only just met. At which point, you're on the road again. What are you up to? How are you dying?
Well, I think as soon as we exit town, I'm gonna turn to Anivari and be like, so?
What?
What do you mean, what? Tell us what that was about.
It wasn't safe to be in that town.
Duh. Why? That's Captain Obvious.
Oh, God. That is the most high fantasy response I have ever had from any character ever. Oh God, that gave me a good laugh. Anyway, as you were saying, yeah, it's not safe, obviously. Idiot.
Yeah, obviously, and
there was nothing there that we needed.
oh my goodness.
Also true.
Who was the woman?
I don't know.
Who are the kids?
I don't know them either.
What's their purpose?
Killing people.
So Josh was right. They were childhood assassins. Okay. Well, how do you know? How do you know that? Were you one of them when you were a teenager?
Can we not do this right now? We need to. We're traveling. We need to find an herbalist. Wait, there's the sick. She's dying. Lady. Can we?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We should walk and talk.
William, how about you divulge a secret first, and then let Anivari share one. We can all go tit for tat. How about that? You don't have any secrets. You don't have any. There's nothing going.
I'm an open book. If you want to ask me something, you can ask me something.
All right, nothing going on with those hands. Then
you know as much as I do. It's a side effect of my magic.
There's no reason there's a shadow monstery version of you watching over him as you sleep.
A side effect of my magic.
You have a simple excuse for everything.
Yeah.
I have a reason. I don't have any secrets. Anything else?
Well,
No.
Well, Anivari, maybe if I give out a secret, maybe you'll feel obliged. I'm not pressuring you.
Birds.
I'm
That's
just
the
no.
definition.
No,
Okay.
it's something that I'm very insecure about. But if you divulge some information that can maybe help the group, I will give out an embarrassing secret of my own.
There's nothing that would affect you now that we've left.
All right. Well, I don't need to give out my secret then.
Everybody's happy.
Oh, I
Sounds
just
good.
have,
Let's go.
I just have one more question. So you said that as long as we're out of the village, that we'll be safe. But you didn't know they were in the village when we were on our way here. So can you promise that we won't be in danger from them again?
We could run across anybody in the street who might want to kill us. We have, sometimes.
Yeah, but this is specific to you. And there's clearly some history there.
It's interesting that you have history with a place that seems to be that you've never been. Because you would have had... Because, I mean, if we were going there and you had been there before and you knew all of this, you would have been very apprehensive to go there. But you weren't apprehensive to go there. So, you know what I'm saying?
Let's
Like
just
being
say-
apprehensive is a bit of a tell, is it not? Can't blame you for trying to keep secrets. At
Yeah, but
least
they weren't
not a-
apprehensive. Like,
Mhm.
Anivari wasn't apprehensive to go into the town. And then... But they have history with the town? It doesn't add up. So, there's obviously... Like... Anivari doesn't know everything. I'm sorry for speaking like you're not here. But, like... Anivari obviously doesn't know everything, so we can't pester them constantly about things that they don't know. William.
I'm not pestering her about things that she doesn't know. I'm pestering her about things she does know.
But surely they wouldn't have wanted to go into town if immediately they're like, oh, well, now that I, because of the history that I have with this town, I can't stay in the town.
You're right, which is why I don't believe that just because we've left the town we're safe from whatever is going on there.
But then why would Anivari want to go into the town in the first place?
No, I'm agreeing with you that it's weird. I'm agreeing with you, but I also believe that because of that, what is happening in that town is not only happening in that town.
Well, it's not isolated.
Exactly.
Every time they're not talking to me, I'm just trying to inch a little bit further ahead on the horse. just a little bit away, as far as I can get away with. Just inching away slowly.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, we can bury it.
Hey, we can stop. I'm just curious.
Dinari's good at burying things.
Wow.
Just saying.
You know what?
Yeah, I eventually want to stop and have breakfast. Sorry, what were you going to say, Dinari?
I think we can. Right now, we've laid it on pretty thick. Feels like wounds are still pretty open. We'll just leave it the fact that. What was it? Oh, jeez, just thought gone. Just my entire train of thought was gone. Oh,
You
no.
have harassed her?
Oh, yes. No. Yes. So the wounds are pretty thick. We've laid it on enough. We've asked enough questions. The entire thing we've gotten from this is that we're all just concerned about whether or not these problems will cause us to be in any danger. And we're not entirely convinced right now that they haven't. But when are we not really in any kind of danger?
True enough. So what is for breakfast?
Well, is it time yet?
It's about 8 o'clock.
What do you think?
Been riding
Anivari,
for
are
a few
you happy to
hours.
stop? You've been, yeah? Alright.
You screamed that ahead. Hey!
This is when we notice that you're on the horizon already.
Yeah, exactly. You're over the hill.
Yeah.
Very reluctantly. Go on the raid and circle back.
All right, let's sit down and have some tucker.
Keskola Tucker. What is Tucker?
Huh?
What is Tucker? Hmm.
It's just slang for food.
Ah,
Yeah, because you're gonna tuck in. Yeah.
that's not where I meant to take you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ignore
Oh my
some minutes.
goodness.
It's fine. You can.
That's
This is sort of roughly the area where you're in,
Lovely.
but I meant to take you to there.
That's familiar.
Yes, campsite. Oh, there's a card. Okay, no, there we go. Yeah, hidden by the campsite. Oh, Pyra's asking for secrets from chat. Love it. Yeah, you guys sitting down for some breakfast, some tucker, as it was called. What is it, Jack? What's for breakfast? Oh, before you answer that question, let's go back a little way, about half a mile, to a hollowed tree. As you pass the hollowed tree on the way back, having been told what you've been told, are you leaving the rest of the stuff there, or do you want to just take everything? Or do you want to put your things back that you took?
I didn't really voice at the time, but I probably was not too keen on taking anything. So I think if we've assumed that there's been at least a water breathing pouch in my possession, it's totally back in the tree.
So you put your own goods back, but don't try and persuade others to do the same.
Well, I guess it was a question of whether or not I'd even take it in the first place. But I guess.
Oh, sure, but I meant
Yeah.
now that you've met. Oh,
Sorry, what?
nearly gave her name. That would have been terrible. She did not give you that. When you met somebody on the road, they did say that the people that this stuff belonged to, the merchant, the merchants, were unpleasant folk. If you wanted to take everything, you could. But it does imply that the merchants are alive, not dead. And that the goods were only there because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, implying that they would get moved later that day.
But they don't know who took it.
No, and she did say
Yeah.
she never saw anything.
Well, if I ever meet him, I'll pay for my goods. that I
What money?
stole. With what money? With the money I eventually gather in order to pay for the goods.
Why? There's no way they could track it down. They're not exactly.
Yeah, I
the
know. That's
only-
why I'm saying if it occurs. I'm not going to seek them out. They have to seek me out.
Okay, well,
Would you?
in the spirit of,
Oh, sorry, go on.
I was thinking, in the spirit of eyes and ears everywhere, I feel like they probably already got a good lead. At least it's good to assume as such.
Yeah. If they catch up to me before I have the money, I'll give them an IOU.
But Weary, you would also not be particularly interested in taking anything else?
Nah.
Anivari, William, are you putting anything back, taking anything else?
No, I'm not putting anything back. And in terms of taking anything else, I think William is very happy with the compromise within the party to just take a single thing.
Okay.
And so he's happy to not take anything else.
All right,
I'm
sorry.
too thrown at this moment.
Further down the road, you get to the campsite. Weary, what's your breakfast? That's where I was at.
Alright, I think I'm going to try and rustle up some fresh berries and create a vegetarian charcuterie board.
Any cheese on that board?
And eat definitely cheese on that board.
But not the cheese
And
from the
I'll,
stores, just the cheese that you had already.
Nah, just the cheese that we had already.
Okay, go ahead and give me a cooking. Yeah, those things.
Cookering.
I couldn't decide if I was going with cookery or cooking, all right? So I was somewhere between cooking and cookring. Give me a cooking check.
Are you going to use some
also
of your
get
new
some-
spices?
I am. I'm going to get
okay.
some pepper.
Uh,
to create peppery cheese.
In that case, I will. You can add just a flat 2 to your check. I will add that manually To when you refresh, you will be able to see it. But for now, just give me a roll and add 2 to it.
Yep.
So you have a +5 instead of a
it's
+3.
shit.
Oh,
It is
no. You put the
shit
wrong
cooking.
spices. Too much
I put
salt.
the wrong spice in.
You know, Weary's been a consistent cook dealing with sort of make do and the standard. But he's sort of like, hey, I've got spices, and suddenly there's just wadges of paprika over your berries.
No.
It's not a good meal for the day, I'm afraid, guys. It's almost inedible, but you managed to put it down. Is anyone saying anything about the bad food, or do you just
I think
quietly
I'll just...
force down like you're doing that challenge? Do you remember the teaspoon of spice challenge that people
Oh,
did
the
for a while?
cinnamon
Yeah.
challenge.
Cinnamon challenge. That was
Oh.
one, yeah.
So
It's like doing that,
stupid.
but with paprika and berries. Anyone say anything, or are we just getting out some dry coughs in the corners?
Yeah, I think I'll try to discreetly slip out some of my rations
Mhm.
and add it to my
Just
plate.
you'll just eat your dried out meat like behind the berries.
Yeah.
Like that's
Your
okay.
wet berries are
exactly.
very crunchy.
I will say something. I'll say, fuck me, that was shit. That was as bad as the dog's dinner.
No,
I
it's
apologise.
fine.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not fine.
All right, well, you said it.
I can't
Maybe
all
I'll
be
get the hang of
winners.
spices. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You'll
Look,
get
I'm
there.
used
You'll
to-
get there.
I'm used to dealing with really salty food, so you just got to bear with me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like chugging down my water skin between breaks. I'm like, I can't complain. But, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you could, because I am.
My mama raised me right.
Post.
All right, fine. Ask your questions.
Oh.
You're all sitting
Yeah.
there
Oh,
silent.
pipe down, DM.
All right.
So,
And as promised,
pick different
I will
music.
give out my embarrassing secret at the end.
okay. So, what is
I'm
going on
ready
with those people? What is your connection to them?
There's an organization. It has spies throughout the land. And they start young.
Were you one of the spies?
For a time.
Is it other spies for nefarious means?
Are there spies for non-nefarious means?
The world's pretty grey. I'm sure they could be used for some kind of good.
They're not good people.
How did you escape?
Give that more time.
Okay, we'll circle back.
That's for next session.
yeah.
You need to build up our relationship meter more.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Anivari disapproves.
Need
-10.
to give you more of your favorite things on your birthday.
yeah, exactly. Okay. What else? What else could we? What was the purpose of the organization? To spy for what? For what end?
I don't think you have that information.
I don't
Okay.
know.
What? Sorry, go on.
Sorry, just to jump in there, but yeah, you just don't know that. I also just want to be very specific. You said across the land, but I do think it's fair to say Anivari doesn't know the extent of the organization. You would know where you were based, and you know this place. That doesn't tell you a huge amount. Sorry, you guys. Elora's in a difficult situation here, so we've got to.
Sure.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that you got information wise? Well, what was your missions like?
I didn't so much have missions. I was very young.
and you got out before they could sort of sink their clutches into you.
Sure. I wouldn't say there's not scars.
Like real scars?
No, they are carefuler than that.
Okay.
Well, whatever they want, we can, take it on together.
Yeah, we can deal with them.
I mean, there's a bunch of 13-year-olds. You just slap them about.
That woman was definitely not 13, by the way, the one you met on the road.
Wasn't she?
No, she's definitely an adult.
Oh, was she one of them?
She was a headmistress.
They trained 12 at a time. From the ages 5
Okay.
to 17. One child of each age.
So people in that town knew who
12 of
you
them.
were.
I don't know what I knew exactly.
Hmm.
Sorry,
But then,
this might be pinging some stuff at you,
Yeah.
and it's not intentional.
Okay.
I wonder, and I'm not asking, I don't expect you to know this answer, but I wonder why they let you go. If you escaped. And then they just saw you again.
I thought my escape was cleaner than it seems to be. I made some friends with other trainees.
Who wanted out?
Nobody's bold enough to say they want out.
Okay. What's the deal with the little bird?
They were called the Swift.
Okay.
As in, like, the organization, that's what they were called?
Specifically, the children who are being trained.
The trainees.
Right. Well, maybe at some point we can try and... I don't know if they can be rescued or, have their mindset changed, but we could try.
Yeah, let's take down the organization.
Yeah. We do chase
goal.
freedom after all.
You know you guys met me a week ago, right?
5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of don't have anyone else in this world.
I just got Tim here, mate. And Tim is sometimes good for conversation, but sometimes not.
He lets out an angry squawk and then swoops down and takes what's left of the berry charcuterie board that people didn't enjoy. After a little while,
choke on it.
After a little while, you hear him in a tree just going. Bits of paprika coming out of his beak like a cloud of smoke.
Oh, got me eyes! Got me eyes!
I don't even know where we would begin.
Well, I mean, we don't have to start immediately, obviously, but, it is something that we can keep our eyes and ears out for in the future.
Chat suggests that you level up a bit and go back in and burn the whole village to the ground.
Also an option.
Yeah, when do you learn Fireball again?
Shadow Ball to you.
Yeah, Shadow Ball.
Cool. Heavy breakfast conversation. Any idea what you're going to do about the Genosha plant?
Wait. Hold on now. Someone owes us an embarrassing secret.
That's true.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I made me promise, and I keep to me promises. No, I wasn't a bird as a child. I know that's what you're all thinking. No, obviously my real name's not Weary. It's just a moniker that you get given when you're on a ship. It's really Vivian.
Oh my god. You're
Oh
so
my god. Vivi.
No,
Do
don't
you-
call me that. No, that's not mine. That's not. You can't call me that.
Oh, Vivi.
No,
This is
please don't.
amazing. I love this. You shouldn't be embarrassed about this. You should own it.
That was
No.
quite the chortle.
Why not
Earth
just pick,
shattering.
why not just pick Ian?
I never thought about that.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, it's Weary now. It's like I can't. I won't answer to Vivian. It's not in my brain. It's something. It's me.
Any takers on the Vivian?
What were your parents expecting a girl? Or
Well, they always said it was a unisex name.
Fucking unisex.
Oh.
Another word so far removed from the high fantasy world. I love that. Good old unisex name. Goes with your unisex toilets.
I think it suits
Sorry,
you.
the unisex outhouses. Carry on as you were.
But yeah. Apparently, I was named after my great grandfather.
It suits you. I think.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make me feel better.
I mean, as long as you like the name you picked.
I didn't pick this name. You don't pick a nickname.
Well,
Oh,
if you
right.
was to choose a name, what would it be?
I think I'd stick to Weary. I think it suits me well.
We hear one more
Anybody else want to
spluttered
have some
croak
story time?
from the bird in the tree after this conversation. Yeah. Any other secret sharers? Any strange information you'd like to divulge? Bumble. No. Okay, cool. Breakfast was
I
shit.
didn't think it from.
The conversation was juicy, much juicier than the berries. You guys can get back on the
That
road.
wasn't hard.
9 a.m., but in which direction are you traveling and what are you doing? Because realistically, whilst you've discovered some cool things about the backstory of one of your compatriots, you still have absolutely no idea what to do about this cure.
Do we know what kind of area? I mean, obviously we know the forest, but do we know what kind of area the druid or witch may be? Do we have the location of the witch's house?
Yes, it's the one that looks like a witch's house on the shore
On the shore? I thought it was over here.
of the
Wait, I
lake.
thought we were
Yes,
looking for
on the shore of the lake.
alchemist.
It's over there.
Oh.
You
Okay,
know
that's
that
quite
there
far
is
away.
a herb lady on the road to. I've used the wrong map for this.
Yeah,
That's where the
we
witch's.
are.
That's where the witch's house is. I don't think it's on this map. That's why I used that one.
Oh.
Because this is zoomed out. So things were added as I got closer in and closer in, because otherwise the map was
Right.
just a fucking cluster shit. So Ben lives about here, Ben the beekeeper. Are we all on the same map? Am I drawing lines to
Yep.
real
Mhm.
people?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Ben lives about here. The herb lady is somewhere between here and there. Somewhere in this 40-mile stretch. You were told to ask Ben about her. You didn't. But you know she lives somewhere on this way, and you know she lives in the forest. So I guess this way is a better way of putting it. Nor, you actually found Nor in the forest that was all the way down here, on the edge of the lake. No, wrong lake, sorry. On the edge of Burwood Lake. So here, yes, exactly that. But you know that he ranges far and
Wanders.
wide. Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one really knows how to track him. And you can always visit Lakeside for some answers if you're curious. Lochside, sorry.
And then the witch's
I
house
mean,
is
useful.
somewhere over here.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
So
But
you've
the
got
herbalist.
here, here, and here.
And we didn't run across the herbalist on the way up. Didn't we like cut across?
No, you specifically stayed out of the forest as long as possible and then went in.
Okay.
Mostly because you know there's barrows of undead dudes here. Elora, I've got your line stuck on my face, stuck on my page. Thank you. God, this break didn't aid my wording at all.
I mean, we don't really have much option other than keep an eye out for traveled path off of the road.
Well, do you want to go
Anybody
back
else has
in
ideas?
the forest so that you will? Because there is a path through the forest.
Yeah, if we go through the path in the forest, we can keep a lookout for the
You will
herbalist
know you're
and the
guaranteed to bump into the herbalist if you go that way.
Yeah.
druid. Oh, then yeah.
Let's do that.
Be interested in getting some extra stuff from my herbalist pack as well. Now, just also quick little point of clarification here. The woman who we're gathering this herb for, we know that she's she's sick. Thank you.
It's her mother.
Mom,
Her mother.
Lady
technically,
Genevieve.
yeah.
Yeah, Lady Genevieve's mom. Was this?
She has a
Was it
week to
related to
live.
us? This was like some sort of like magical sickness, or just like this is just a super old
She
lady
has a wasting
who's
disease.
just happy.
It's definitely an illness, not old age killing her. Although old age may have contributed to it. You know that she has a week or so to live. Or so she has been told by the Shururgeon. Okay.
And we know nothing else about the disease itself.
No,
just
nothing at all.
some wasting disease.
They called it the.
I don't know.
Not the wasting disease.
But I know anything about this
Is it TB?
wasting disease?
No, you wouldn't. What did you ask, Jack?
Is it TB?
No, you'd know that it's definitely more fantasy-esque, if you will. It's
Oh, yeah.
unnatural, if
It's fantasy consumption.
Inflicted on someone by someone?
You don't know about that. I don't think you've got anywhere near
What-
enough information for that.
So what they really thought consumption was back in the day, if somebody was like feeding off of you.
But we're headed through the forest, are we?
Yeah.
As you do so, sort of 9 a.m. now, 9:30. Can I have a D100 from Jack, please?
Me. $79.
Halving numbers becomes harder and harder in my life. 39. You wanted something for your pack? Your alchemist's pack? Here you go. You encounter a strange crop of bright blue mushrooms by the side of the road.
Again?
No. Again? No, they're not the same mushrooms.
I could have sworn the group blue track we have like a pound of blue mushrooms or something.
Okay, these are not blue toadshade mushrooms. These are tiny little mushrooms. And they have no alchemical properties whatsoever. What's interesting about them is that the water next to them runs thick with a glittery-like substance. That is the hardest sentence I've said all night, by the way, and I got it right, so I'm being very proud of myself. Thick with a glittery-like substance.
Thick. A thick river. It's kind of gross.
It's like is this like a runoff kind of situation? Like is it like a downwind from the mushrooms? Like
No, it
trying to
seems
make
like
a
this substance is
correlation.
genuinely existing, perhaps even growing within the water. I am desperately trying to get this shit to load so I can give you a bit more information.
Ooh.
But all I'm doing is
Like a
staring
shit
at
in
it.
water.
thing.
Saying weird shit in water is how you get the wasting disease. Next to some
Yeah.
weird ass mushrooms.
Specifically, it is chromium slime. This thin, this thin slime substance is often observed to flow within water current as if it had a mind of its own. Some scientists, modern day peeps, mistake this slime with mercury as it has the same consistency and is glittery. When attempting to alter the slime, it reverberates and alters other plant life instead. As an alchemist, you would know this has various alchemical properties. Specifically, is the capacity to induce elemental effects. So you might be able to use it to create elemental resistances or sort of like a flame or a bit of lightning or whatever when combined with other things.
So it's mistaken for quicksilver.
I like that. Better than mercury. Either way, you can have 0.3 pounds of it if you like, or 3 instances of it as it grows by the wayside. You can sort of catch it up in a little beaker.
Unfortunately, I don't think my herbalist kit explicitly comes with spare beakers. Could have sworn.
No, probably not. But you would definitely have, a water skin or a spare vial to hand. Something to
Could pour out the ink in my ink bottle. Just get an ounce.
Yeah, or use it. You might have kept a few old empty bottles because you're an alchemist. I'm absolutely fine with you having containers for that sort of stuff. I would assume that it comes as part of a herbalist's pouch, if you will. Much like a component pouch comes with the ability to store components.
Pouches and vials used to create remedies. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I got something.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll take 0.3 pounds of it.
On a totally different note, can I take a perception check from Tim the Cantankerous? Sorry, carry on, Bumpkin.
Cantankerous.
Oh, I was just asking the name of it. It's chromium something?
Yeah, it's on D&D Beyond.
Slime. It is
It's
on
chromium
D&D Beyond.
slime.
Thank you.
Yeah, all
Is
the
it,
alchemical stuff is, and a lot of the time you can add 1 and then modify the weight to have like a certain amount, like 0.3 pounds.
Okay.
On D&D Beyond, is it a what? Is it a what, Jack? Is it a what?
Is it a site-based thing?
No.
Okay. 17. For
Yeah.
Tim.
Tim has heard a strange hoot or cackle of a bird a few times, and without any prompting, just randomly starts trying to imitate it.
Tim? What are you doing? Oi. Oi, come here. Come here.
He comes and lands on your
That
shoulder,
was
but then right in your ear just goes... Oh, you've ruined me just as I was about to make the noise. I can't do it now. He makes the same sound again.
Ah! Oi.
You hear a distant bird repeat the call back.
I tap his beacon just a little bit, just like it's like a, hey.
He sort of goes, poof, and a little bit of just orange powder drips out the side of his face. You can tell he's still angry about it. But yeah, this bird repeats the call, and after a while begins to. You hear the call coming. Hear the call coming closer. That's what you hear. The call coming closer.
Tim, is it dangerous? What are we?
It's dangerous enough to require a map. That's for sure. So indications are high on the danger levels. If you want to just place yourself sort of there, that's good. Where's the noise gone? Any noises? Oh, sorry.
It just started raining.
It was unexpected. Not the sound I was looking for. Scared the fucking shit out of me. is another dude. I'm trying to get a picture of it for you, but it's proving more complicated than I thought. Wow, this really is complicated. Go! Okay, cool. Fantastic. I think that's now come up, right? In the chat on Roll20. Is that right? Did that image work? Did I finally get
A
it?
lovely bird.
Yes.
Friendly.
A huge bird. This bird stands 11 foot tall. Isn't that nice?
Oh,
Shit.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Two of them, in fact, come sort of like pacing out, a little like ostriches as they walk. Yeah, they come sort of screaming in at you. Let me just find the thing with the thing, and then I'll do the thing. In the meantime, you can roll initiative. As they are going to attack on sight. And they're not using the path, they are dive bombing you from up top. Which means you might not be able to see them straight away.
Is it not rolling? Oh, there we go.
Um,
Oh, amazing. Not sure.
Oh, your roll goes to D&D Beyond now.
Oh, okay. This is...
Yay! That's exciting.
what?
Never used to.
You saw it of these? Okay. 'Cause now it's
Yeah,
not showing up in Roll20.
we did great.
maybe
teams.
that
We
was
did
the
stellar
fix.
rolls.
I would normally offer you guys to swap initiative, but frankly, I don't see it making any fucking difference. And on that note, let me just get straight.
I got
onto
well,
roll
technically I
20.
got 6 for my
Your initiative.
what's it called?
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion.
Irrelevant. I mean, yes, okay, you would go before Dinari, but it's just you're all together, and the big birds are going
Okay.
first. And they are going to. Can you guys see up the hill? No, you can't. In fact, for some of you,
No.
oh, that's the horse. Never mind, it doesn't have vision. So it is daylight, right? You can all actually see. You just can't see the birds.
Apart from like the
Yeah, there's
trees, blocking
shadows
the
and
light.
things.
Great. Okay, they're going to come leaping down this hill, and rushing straight up. William, you don't have a token for it, but are you currently riding a horse? A horse called Whisper, specifically. Just any old horse.
No, I don't think so. I think I'd be walking with it and the others.
Cool. Yeah, I figured you'd be walking. In that case, your horse can just be not present. Let me. Did I get the stream to the Roll20 place? I did. Fantastic. The music didn't change. That's annoying. The bird's going to try and kill you. Imagine that. That's its first turn. Why do I have to go first? I'm trying to press all the things. Bam! That's what it does. It comes running up and it beaks. I think it's just going to ignore Tim completely because Tim made cool little shouts. So it's just going to beak Weary in the face.
Alright.
Boom! 9.
9 does not hit.
Cool.
Um,
Boom!
I don't have sentinel. I think
22.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
5
Absolutely, yeah.
piercing damage, sorry.
Alright.
That brings us to the other one, who is going to cast a spell. Or rather, an innate effect. And as you see, it's sort of, the quills on its head sort of bristle upwards, and it raises its wings and it flaps. A sort of strange, like, golden orange light emits from the wings and drifts over some of you. Anivari, Atreides, and Dinari, I'm going to need a wisdom save, please. And I'm sorry, this fight is pretty mean.
boy.
4.
Hold on, I'm just going to double check that I've got this this area of effect correct.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, where you were originally, Denari, I'm going to put you back to because you were kind of halfway on 2 squares. I don't want to hit Weary with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you two with a wisdom save, please.
Yep. 4.
4 is a fail.
Mm-hmm.
What was Atreides?
13 for Anivari.
Okay.
18 for Atreides.
Both of you succeed. Dinari begins to sort of sway from side to side. and you see her eyes like fixate on a space just above the bird. And Dinari, you are charmed. Whilst charmed in this way, you are incapacitated with a speed of 0. In other words, you sleepies. You're just staring at that shit for the next minute, I'm afraid. This does end if somebody, if you take damage or if somebody else uses an action to wake you uppy. And with that, this bird is going to leap up Anivari and try and hit you in the face. But it gets a 7. Anivari, you're up.
Yeah, I don't like that, so I'm gonna take out my longsword and swipe at it.
Love that for you. Whack.
15.
Yeah, 15 hits.
Gosh, that is awful. 4 damage.
Oh my, mighty. Yeah. Can I assume you hit the one? Oh,
Next to me.
They're both next to you.
This one.
I didn't see a ping.
Oh, well, I guess actually I'll go for this one because it's next to Weary as well.
The one I haven't damaged. Yeah, go. Love that for me. Cool.
Sorry.
That's all right. Anything else, Anivari?
Bonus action. Shield of Faith,
Bonus
because I
action?
have spells now.
Oh yeah. That's
Hey.
the thing. What does this look like? What form does this take? What manifestation of magicification is this?
I think in this case it would be like an image of Tim, like springs up in front of him, wings spread as like a golden shield.
I love that. For 10 minutes, an image of Tim. Cool. Action, bonus action, mini movement speed.
Nope.
Cool. Weary, you're up.
Okay. I was gonna get the fuck out of there, but I guess I won't, because we're standing our ground. So I'm gonna bonus action Zephyr Strike.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that.
What does that
Okay,
seem
well,
like,
I don't
look
know
like?
why that rolled. I don't know why that rolled anyway. But I guess because it does. If I hit, it does damage.
Mhm.
But I think once again with that sort of magical enshrouded Tim, was that Shoot of Faith cast on me?
No. Oh, was it? Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I assume it was because
Oh.
of the Tim thing.
Right, that makes way more sense why you picked a bird with a shield. Okay, cool,
Yes,
love that.
yes.
I was like, oh, okay, it's just an odd choice, but I see it now. Cool. Sorry, as you were saying.
Yeah, no worries. I think I put my crossbow into the sort of the shield projection,
Mhm.
and it's going to harness that power, and it's going to shoot straight at the heron stalk, whatever this thing is.
Which one are you going for, Weary?
I'm going for the one right in front of me.
Cool. Roll with advantage then, with your Zephyr Strike.
It's a 17 minus 3.
14 hits. You
14,
want to know something
14
terrifying?
hits.
This monster in base D&D speaks common.
Interesting.
That's frightening. Sorry, anyway, where are you
That
guys?
is, 12 plus 3, so that is 15 damage.
Why plus 3? Oh, the force damage. Yes,
because
yes,
of the
sorry.
Yep,
Yeah.
strike.
Yeah, got you. 15 damage is a huge hit. And the creature is severely wounded. Action,
Alright,
bonus
that'll be the
action,
end of
no
my
movement
turn.
speed. Cool.
No, that'll be the end of my turn. I'll
Okay.
stay my ground.
At the end of your turn, can you make me, please, a wisdom save from Tim?
From Tim, okay. Don't fuck me over, mate. You fucked me over. 11.
An 11's a success. Tim was not too affected by the charm, although was repeating the call, and realizes, because he nearly fell prey to it, what's happening to Dinari. So Dinari, if you don't mind, you're going to take 1 piercing damage, but you'll wake up.
Yep.
And with that, Dinari, if
I
you
didn't
would...
think to use Tim.
well,
that.
you just did.
That's
Cool. I hate things that shut people out of the fight for a minute and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is on my encounter table, and I hadn't really realized that Hypnotic Pattern just says sit down and do nothing. But luckily there's a bird in town, so Dinari, take a turn.
All right. Which one was the one that cast that pattern?
The one down and left, otherwise
Down
known
left?
as Eblis B in my book. Yes, down there.
Yeah, I think snapping out of it, there's an immediate like snap of the head towards that one. There's like murder in my maybe not that frequently.
Great.
Maybe like a little more like murder in the eyes rather
Yeah,
than
okay.
deer in the headlights. Yeah, and I will immediately kind of shuffle around Atreides, and as I am taking out my scimitar and I'm going for a slash.
Cool. +2 to hit because you are by technicality flanking. You don't get that with your crossbow ever, by the way.
Oh, but there's a tree technically in between us.
That's
and
okay.
So how much movement speed am I expending?
Tree branches are not all that problematic, and neither are tree trunks really. This probably costs you 15 foot of movement speed, I would say.
Okay.
Because you can also pass through an ally space on your turn without incurring any
Yes.
difficult terrain. So technically, Atreides would just take a step to the side, you walk past, etc.
Just
+2
push the horse rump.
to your roll. Some flanking. Go ahead.
Natural 20.
Is this your scimitar? Did you say?
Ooh.
Yes, it is.
Nice. Natural 20. Cool. Go ahead, roll your
Yeah.
regular damage, and we will add the critical hit damage to the top of that.
Right. That's 5 points of piercing, so +2. Oh, sorry, it's slash. So 5 + 2 is 7 for slashing.
Okay, and then plus
And
the
then
6, which is the max on
6
the
for
dice,
13.
for 13 damage. Yeah, this creature is wounded. That's a heavy hit. And basically what happened is it sort of snapped its neck forward to pierce Anivari, and you came across and like tried to chop through its neck. You find the muscles are very thick, and despite you catching a really vulnerable area, the bird's neck just sort of bends, almost like, Bruce Lee becoming water and comes snapping back. But it is a wounded creature now.
Ooh, okay, then yeah, I think catching the neck on the scimitar, then I'll use my bonus action to try and come in again with the axe as well. I'll take another swipe
Love
at that neck
that.
now that I've got it kind of
Smack him down!
17, 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So that is going to
The
be
bird has spontaneously donned plate mail in the last 6 seconds.
yeah. So that is 4 + 2. That's 6 slashing, and then another d6 of lightning. It's 1 lightning.
Cool. This creature is severely wounded now. As the lightning crackles into it, you see the lightning sort of gather up, and its whole neck goes straight on end, and it's the feathers on its head just sort of go straight upwards. Anything else from you, Dinari?
Cool. You know what? No, I'm gonna take it now. I'm not done yet. I think. How does this manifest? I guess it's just really trying to get into the groove of things, and landed 2 really great hits in a stinging opportunity. Gonna try one more again with 1 more hit, so I'm gonna action surge.
Love that. Okay.
Nice.
And I think that gets me just 1 more action.
It gets you an action back, so if you had 2 attacks
Yeah.
on your action, you would get 2 attacks. But because
Okay,
your
I
2
took
wielding
1.
is a bonus action, you would only get 1.
Yep.
Lightning axe.
Yeah. It's just another.
Yep.
Chop,
Yeah,
chop
go
again,
ahead. Roll
yeah.
a hit. Still with the +2
Pounding
flanking.
again. 14, 16. Hit.
16 will hit.
All right. So that's 4 points of slashing and 2 points of lightning.
Oh, an exact kill. Love that for you.
Oh,
Yeah, as your sort of axe hacks into the same place where your scimitar previously connected. As you sort of had your scimitar and then your axe comes back across, catching that little sort of ridge in the neck. And you see you get sort of halfway into the neck, and it just flops down at its own feet and then falls over sideways. That one is dead. Does that conclude your turn, Anivari? Dinari?
not think.
Kill 'em all.
Still, yeah, I've got no more hits to take, but I will, as I'm taking the weapon still, like kind of taking them out of the neck, I will at least walk up to the
Yep.
other stork.
Have that. Don't worry, Laura. I called your character Natani when we were out to dinner. Which is a mistake I've not made. I never called Natani, so I don't know why I called this guy Natani. Mr. Hale, William, it is your moment to shine. Creature in front of you is severely wounded. You rolled a pathetic initiative. You finally got around to going.
And I've got a
doing?
-1 to it.
What are you doing? It's lazily.
Yeah, so I will using the shadow that the tree is casting, a shadow of like this humanoid creature kind of crawls its way out of the shadow of the tree to stand up, and as it walks towards the bird, it like creates its own like shadow blade as it slashes into the bird. For a 14 to hit.
What are you casting?
I am casting skeletal slashing. I'm just
Is that not a meta item?
describing it differently. No.
Oh,
It's a
never mind.
spell.
That's necromantic clutch. That's your cantrip. This is your spell. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Go ahead. Roll. 14 will hit. Give me roll some damage.
That is 16 slashing damage.
Far out.
Josh. Spell is displaying as a cone.
I know, because the creation of the spell doesn't match its description. The description
doesn't?
says to roll an attack, but the spell is created as a cone and as a dex save.
Bear with me a second. I know we're right in the middle of combat. Describe his grisly demise. I will.
Yeah,
I
so
will
as
take
the
a note.
shadow like slashes the bird and stabs it to death, as the bird like collapses on the floor, the shadow like slowly and kind of creepily like slowly backs away to stand on the tree's shadow again and just melts back into it.
Cool, I'll give you that. You guys will receive 65 experience points each. That's hard math.
Nice.
And I have something else, so just bear with me a second. I go looking for my bird.
As we collect ourselves,
Yes.
I will spend my 2 sorcery points to regain that spell slot back. And this kind of like William's shadow kind of like runs itself like up his body and then goes back down to stand behind him. That's like him rejuvenating himself, so to speak.
You should take a moment to touch yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna use that as my bonus action, but then I killed the thing, so I was like, that goes my bonus action.
Just a couple of things. Should you wish, you could part these mighty beaks from their bodies. They would function as sickles, if you wish, or potentially sell as collector's items. In addition, some of the crest feathers are beautifully long and incredibly well balanced for flight. Should you wish, you or somebody you encounter who makes arrows, a Fletcher, might be able to make some very strong, well-formed arrows from these feathers. You can gather 8.
Or bolts?
Yeah. You'd need a craftsman for that. You wouldn't be able to do that yourself. That's a bit more complicated. But yes, they could be used to make bolts. Bolts tend to be less feathered and more flighted, if you will. But they could do that. Also, if you have any interest in doing so, you could gather 108 regular feathers, which can be used as quills. In case you want to write 108 letters.
When you need to sell 108 quills.
Yeah, for like copper shard each.
You just Ditch the campaign, traveling quill merchants.
These have a lot of feathers. They're big birds. Nevertheless, that is where we are going to end. It is going to bring us to our timeless tradition of MVPs. I think overall that was a pretty good session. We packed a lot in, guys. Especially as we... Why are you playing me battle music? I don't need that. Thank you. Especially as we didn't actually start on time. We did manage to get a lot going on. Who are we going to start with? I'm going to go first. I am. It's a new year, a new me. I'm just going to go, duh. That's all. I will circle back, but if there's anyone's left, because I've got quite a few, but that was just the most instantly human response ever. Josh, your MVP.
Yeah, it's got to go to the backstory lore drops. Not only do we get Wary's true identity, I also love the fact that he was called that on the boat before getting that nickname. They're like, yo, Vivian! And
true.
also, of course, Anivari's, obviously the whole backstory, but getting lots of information on her was really, really, really cool. Very exciting.
Yeah, I can agree. Bumpkin.
I will say I really enjoyed the dynamic of let's get the fuck out of here. I don't want to answer your questions. Let's just go. I'm done. And then a couple hours pass in game, but it's like 2 minutes later. It's just like, go fine, ask your questions.
Yes.
Immediately, when we were we had made the consensus of let's just leave it at that, and then the opportunity was given, and we're just like, tell us everything.
I have a sneaking feeling that whilst Anivari is keeping secrets to herself, Elora's sat there going, I want to tell them everything! I could be wrong. Elora, your MVP?
Oh, can I go real quick? Because someone's at my door.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's gotta be the description of the skeletal sort
Slashing.
of
Yeah.
Josh, skeletal slashing. That was haunting. All right, I've got to go.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. We'll see you soon, Jack. Elora, your MVP?
So I did have the duh moment. I had Weary's rant at the mysterious woman in the road when just we should just leave now. He's like, no, I don't want to leave. What did you talk to us about, lady?
Yes, that was so good. He was like, I want answers. I want this. I want that. I want... it was so well done. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
And then I will say, it was not a conversation she wanted to have on the move, but as soon as we sat around at a table and it was silent for 2 minutes, she knew that they're just sitting there going, but what the heck is up with this town?
Yeah. Was I right that Elora wanted to tell them everything?
A little bit. Some. But
just to shut us up, really.
She knew that it was going to be asked about again later, so it was get it over with rather than just keep waiting.
I do have a couple to add. I really liked it when Josh said, I can't just walk around being pissed off about everyone's decisions. And Bumpkin just went, I can! Which is great. And I loved that as soon as Jack said Vivian, at least one person snorted. There was just this absolute carnage on the Discord when he came out with Vivian. And also everybody politely saying, well, I won't say anything about the food. And Jack just went, I'll say something. That food was shit. Fucking dog's dinner. It was great. Really enjoyed that. But anyway, that is where we're going to end. So if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We shall see you soon.